So be careful on your temperature, okay?
Is there a reason why you didn't wear pants today?
We're not talking about this. And for those of you that love chile colorado, you know you need another ladle. And your cheddar cheese. And roll it up. Add more salsa to the top. Some crema fresca. Some more onions and cilantro. And some delicious pickled purple onions. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. I love butter. So look away if you don't want to use this much. Just kidding. And next, you're gonna add your chicken. And it's juicy. It reminds you like something your tia or your abuela would make. And boom, done. We're ready for some toppings. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you what I make for my family when I'm short on time, and by the end of this video you'll be able to assemble an easy and delicious dinner for your family. You'll need 2 pounds of chuck roast, 1 large potato, 1 poblano pepper, 1 tomato, 2 garlic cloves, a small bunch of chopped cilantro, 1 medium onion, half an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, half a tablespoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, half a tablespoon of Mexican oregano, 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, 3/4 of a cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna season our cube chuck roast with our ground cumin, black pepper, Mexican oregano, your chicken bouillon, and if you don't want to use chicken bouillon, you can salt to taste. Combine your ingredients well. Once you fully combine all your seasonings into your beef, you're gonna add your olive oil and give that a good massage. And I'm gonna allow our mixture to set at room temperature until I'm done chopping our veggies. And once you have your veggies nice and chopped, it's time to head on over to our stovetop. Place your beautiful pan on a medium-high heat. We are gonna sear this beef for about 6 minutes.
I wanted beef today.
Cloud's hungry, you guys. And the good sister that I am, I'm gonna feed her. Ooh,
Appreciate you.
this looks so romantic, doesn't it, this beef? Ooh. So don't move anything for 6 whole minutes. Give or take, after about 5 to 6 minutes, you're gonna add your garlic and your veggies. Give that a good mix and place your burner on a medium heat and allow it to cook for another 4 minutes until your tomatoes are nice and soft. Give or take, after 4 minutes, you're gonna add your tomato sauce. And if you don't like tomato sauce, that's okay. I personally think it enhances the flavor of the broth and it just makes you want to eat more and more and more of it. Add your potatoes, your water. Give that a beautiful mix, just like the Views Club. Place the lid on it. And we're going to continue to cook for about 13 to 15 minutes until your potatoes are nice and soft. Give or take, after about 13 to 15 minutes, your potatoes should be nice and soft. Lastly, you're going to add your cilantro. Give that a good mix. And you see we have enough stew for everybody. Just delicious, nice and juicy, filling. You come home to this when you have a long day at work or get back from school of being stressed or, you know, meeting up with your family. You know what? This is going to satiate you. It's going to make you so happy. So I'm just going to serve a plate for us. Hang tight. And I'm going to pair this dish with some Mexican rice. I'll link the recipes down below. And some refried beans. Yummy, yummy. They kept them nice and runny. And we have a special taste tester today.
Hi everyone. Hi.
He went straight for the beans. Sí, es mexicano.
Now let's try the rice. Carne asada.
Carne asada. We've been having a lot of carne asada.
You see, a dish like this, you have to get all the condiments and flavor for your first bite.
Oh, you have to get everything. Okay.
This is so good. I love it.
Do you? Do you want a tortilla? All right, friends. Sounds like we're gonna have a good dinner today. We hope you have a lovely day. I'm just gonna start serving the rest of my family. There you go. Hello and welcome, amigos. Happy National Burrito Day. And today I'm gonna be making you a guisado burrito. And if you don't know what a guisado is, keep watching. For today's guisado, you're gonna need 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef. And if you don't have ground beef, you can use ground chicken. So go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, your desired amount of black pepper. I'm just hoping it lands in that bowl.
It did. In that big bowl.
In that big bowl.
And you can find the acrylic spice containers in our Amazon storefront.
And the link is in the description area, and now we're pinning it for you, so just look in the comments, it's gonna be the first one. So go ahead and add half a chopped onion. Whoa, that one wanted to shine. Your friends are here.
They're here for me.
Drizzle about half a tablespoon of olive oil or whatever oil you have at home and combine all your ingredients.
What kind of olive oil are you using? I've never seen that bottle before.
Don't tease. I ran out of our favorite olive oil and I have this one from Costco and I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, that's why you're not showing us.
No, I can't. But I'm gonna finish using it. I have a whole bottle to go.
Don't worry, Views Club, I'll sneak a peek and tell you on tomorrow's episode what it is.
I'm gonna have to start mailing it out.
Hiding it. Put duct tape on it.
I'm gonna have to infuse it with some birria seasonings.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And once you're done combining your ingredients, go ahead and set it to the side. I pre-soaked about 9 chile guajillos in hot water, and you just want to let them soak in there until they get nice and soft, or you can use the boiling method, which takes about the same amount of time. I'm gonna use a little bit of this water so we can blend. You want to add 2 roasted tomatoes and 2 roasted garlics. And for those of you that like spice in your food, you can add some chile de árbol, and that's gonna be up to you because I've been known to make really spicy salsa to the point where my family doesn't want to talk to me.
That happened to me recently. Thanks for the warning, little girl. You got me good.
And now you're gonna blend until smooth. And boom, done, amigos. Place your burner on a medium heat and drizzle a little bit of oil. And then you're gonna add your ground beef. And the reason I'm using my hands to put the beef in, it's because it's authentic that way. I'm just kidding.
You're able to crumble up that meat.
Yeah.
You wash your hands a lot, and I'm grateful for that.
I have counted one time how many times I washed my hands, and it was like 25 or something, bro.
Well, because you're always in the kitchen.
That's right. Continue to cook your ground beef on that medium heat for another 4 to 5 minutes, and just start breaking down your ground beef. Once you've fully cooked your ground beef, you're gonna go ahead and add your pre-cooked potatoes. And if you like to use a microwave, you can chop up your potatoes and cook them for 8 minutes, or you can boil them for about 10 to 12 minutes. Add your blended chili sauce. I'm gonna use about 1.5 cups of water to shake off all the excess chili, and we're gonna pour it right on in. 1 to 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, and 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. Combine all your ingredients and continue to cook until you see that your sauce is thickened up a little bit. That should be anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. Okay, amigos, we are all done here. I like my guisado a bit saucier because I like to dip my tortillas usually. But for those of you that don't want it so saucy, just use a little bit of less water, and I'll leave the suggestions in the description area. But we are ready to serve and make this burrito. I'm gonna warm up our flour tortilla. If you guys need a recipe, I have a lot here on YouTube. Look up Views on the Road tortillas. I try to help you differently in each one. They all have tips. To your tortilla, you want to add your favorite beans. Today I'm using pork beans, and I'll link it in the description area. Mexican rice, the star of the show. And I like my burritos this way with some cheddar. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? And I'm just going to show you another way you can plate this guisado.
Buen provecho.
I'm nervous. Let's see what you say for National Burrito Day.
I was going to say it's hot, but he can handle the heat.
Take your time.
Take your time, babe. Finish chewing.
Mm.
Steph, do you have any tips for us while he's chewing?
No tips at all. This is a super easy recipe to make, and even if you haven't thawed out your ground beef, you know that you can still cook it. You know who I'm talking to. We do it all the time.
The teenagers won't stress out. They don't take out their meat in time to defrost.
Yeah, don't stress out. And if you guys need help on how to cook your beef when it's still frozen, let me know in the comments, and then I'll make a recipe specifically for you guys.
With frozen beef.
With frozen beef.
It's good. It's very delicious and it's good and spicy.
Oh, you like the spice in there? Yes.
Wow, I didn't know it's National Burrito Day. Nobody told me this.
Oh, I thought you like burritos, that you would know.
This was a surprise for you, sweetie.
Oh, I love surprise. Okay. Thank you, Mom. And I'm out.
All right.
Bye, sweetie.
I'm going to make another burrito, friends, but I hope that you guys are having a lovely day. Happy National Burrito Day. Let me know what kind of burrito you had today, and if you couldn't have a burrito, let me know what you had to eat anyways. Hello and welcome, amigos. Today I'm going to show you how to make ground beef taquitos. Make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to show you a quick salsa, and we're going to plate these taquitos 3 ways. This recipe is good for 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef, and what you want to do next is you want to add your shredded potatoes, half a finely chopped onion, 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon black pepper, half a tablespoon of ground garlic, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon.
Is that chicken bouillon with tomato?
Yes, that's the Knorr natural chicken bouillon. What you want to do next is combine all your ingredients. If your mixture is a little bit juicier, what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of all-purpose flour, because the last thing you want to do is when you're frying this is for all the water and the juices to come out.
That's not fun when you're frying.
No, it's not. To about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, I ended up using 2 tablespoons of flour. And for those of you that are gluten-free, then you can use a little bit of the maseca. Once you're done combining your ingredients, go ahead and set it to the side. What we have here is taco glue. You're gonna need a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, and just continue to dissolve until you get a thick paste. Take some of your taco glue and place it around the edges. Take your filling and fill it up. And when you line your tortillas up that way, by the time you get here, the glue will really stick because it's already gotten tacky. And boom, done. Sounds like you guys need a refresher, so with a wooden spoon, a wooden chopstick, your toothpick, something that's not coated, you're gonna place it into your oil. And once you see a bubble, that means that you're ready to fry. If you see smoke coming out from the top of your pan, that means that you need to wait and lower your temperature. And now it's time to fry our taquitos. One of the reasons I like making our ground beef taquitos this way is because whenever you cook it before you fry, you end up getting the ground beef to roll out and it just starts popping everywhere. So this is a lot easier, and the temperature is hot enough to cook your ground beef. Ground beef cooks like in 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, depending on your heat, and this is really hot heat.
And you know what they say, once it starts popping,
the fun don't stop.
that's right. But we don't want that kind of fun.
We're gonna continue to cook our taquitos until they're nice and crispy. That should be about 4 to 4.5 minutes. So every minute, I'm just gonna turn it slightly, just like this, so that we can cook all of the sides and keep it nice and crispy. And as soon as you see something float inside your oil, you want to use your skimmer and skim that out, because this is what will end up burning and popping and causing a little bit of chaos for you. Cloud, where can we find these skimmers?
On our Amazon storefront,
Which will be linked down below. And once your taquitos are nice and crispy, go ahead and set them to the side. And now we're gonna make the Views Club Junior mini taquitos. And look at the difference, the mini and the regular taquitos. I can't wait till you tag me to see the Views Club Junior eating these tiny little things.
with their tiny little hands.
Ah, I can't. Thank you guys for sharing the babies with us.
Uh-oh, baby fever.
Hey, we get to enjoy the Views Club Junior.
That's right.
Shout out to all the babies that are doing the boom done method. And boom done, our mini taquitos are ready. And friends, if you're wondering where these little baskets are from, they're actually from the Instant Pot, but I use them for when I'm frying, just to drain any kind of excess oil. I like them, they work. For your salsa, you're gonna need 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of diced green chilies, 5 pickled jalapenos, a little piece of roasted onion, and if you add too much onion to your salsa, it's gonna turn white. You're not gonna get a red salsa. 2 roasted tomatoes, a little roasted serrano, 2 garlic cloves, half a tablespoon of salt, and you can always adjust to taste, 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, and the juice of 1 key lime. If you don't have access to key lime, you can use lemon or your regular limes. Make sure to adjust that to taste. It's gonna be up to you if you want a smooth salsa or if you want a chunky salsa. For me, I'm gonna pulse because I want a chunky salsa. And boom, done, amigos. Add your cilantro to your jar or your bowl, and then your blended salsa. And boom, done, amigos. This salsa will stay for a good 5 to 7 days in your refrigerator. Just make sure that when you're getting your salsa, you're using a clean spoon. For your first serving option, I have some veggie Mexican rice with some frijoles puercos, which is our pork and beans. And I showed you guys how to make this for our 7-layer casserole. Go ahead and place your taquitos. Add your shredded lettuce, your crema fresca, avocado, some pico de gallo, and some cotija. Make it rain. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? Psych, we have to make the next one.
You said psych, thank you for showing her age.
And for the Views Club Junior, we have our rice, our beans, the amount of taquitos that they want to eat, and a little bit of nacho cheese for dipping, a little bit of lettuce, and a little bit of pico de gallo. And boom, done, Views Club Junior. For our next taquitos, we're going to use chile colorado sauce. And for those of you that love chile colorado, you know you need another ladle. And your cheddar cheese. And boom, done, amigos. Who's ready for a bite?
Buen provecho.
Thank you. These are very hot, so be careful. Mmm. Mmm.
So chile colorado is a way to your heart.
You guys already know, and look at this sauce. Ooh. You don't need anything else. It's absolutely perfect.
Douse them in that sauce. Just douse them.
Yes, okay. Look at that.
And are you going to tell us how you made the red sauce?
Yes, I made it like I did the enchilada sauce, which I'll link in the description area. And all I did differently was I added a little bit of Mexican oregano and cumin.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mmm. Wow. That's gonna get dangerous. I have nothing to say. You guys know me and Chile Colorado are best friends, and look away.
We want you to be besties with us.
Mmm.
Oh my god. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Of being pregnant and just can't get enough of what you're craving. So if you guys are pregnant, watch out.
She's got baby fever.
There you go. We're done. We're done, you guys.
Really?
Look away. Hush up, Talk.
She wants a baby.
Okay. No, why are you teasing me? I'm like about to be 40 years old.
You've been talking about babies all day.
Because I love babies.
40's young. You're good.
I'm done.
All right then.
But thank you for sharing the babies with us. Cloud, tell us which one is your favorite combo for the ground beef taquitos.
I'm more traditional plating. You already know that. The rice, the beans, and then the salsita. But I'm not against these. These are next.
These feel like a warm hug. You know, there's a few dishes that'll make me cry. And you guys need to look away before I start crying. This is so good. And eating them this hot, I don't know, it just feels good. It's gonna be good for this cold weather we're having. Everybody wonders why the videos are so long. It's because we hang out and eat.
We do. In between takes, after takes.
Boys, what'd you think of the taquitos?
Delicious.
They already ate.
Hello and welcome. Today you're going to learn a new way to enjoy your ground beef. Now let's get this recipe on the road by grinding 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. And I'm going to be using my Mr. Coffee grinder. It's not just for grinding coffee, it's for grinding some delicious spices. And now you're just going to pulse and give it a nice little 90s grind. Let's start seasoning our ground beef. You're going to add your ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a tablespoon of olive oil. And now you want to combine and mix all your ingredients. For those of you that are curious as to what kind of beef I'm using today, I'm using 85/15. And once you're done combining your ingredients, you're going to go ahead and set this to the side. You're going to need 2 garlic cloves, and all you want to do is peel your garlic, chop it up, and mince it nicely. Now, if you don't have time to chop your garlic, that's okay. You can substitute with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And once you're done mincing, you're going to set your garlic to the side. Next, you're going to chop your cabbage. If you have a small cabbage, you're going to need to use the whole thing. And if you have a large cabbage, just go ahead and chop half of it. And what I like to do, I place it on its side. And I start chopping. This part doesn't have to be too fine because when you're eating this with your ground beef, you want a good bite. You don't have to be perfect for this particular cabbage. And that's why this recipe is one of the family favorites. The best ratio for this particular recipe would be 50% ground beef and 50% cabbage. Now, if you need to stretch it, go ahead and add more cabbage. Promise you, nobody's gonna complain about this particular recipe, and the best part is that it's super easy to make. And now it's time to get to cooking. Place your burner on a medium heat and drizzle about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. To that olive oil, you're gonna add your garlic, and you're gonna saute for a good 30 seconds. That smells delicious. These little simple steps in cooking really make a difference. Next, you're gonna add your ground beef and you're gonna continue to cook and break down for a good 4 minutes. The aromas coming out of this kitchen are absolutely divine. Some of you are going to want to get excited and add more seasonings in here. I suggest that you don't. Learn how to eat simple. This is a very simple recipe that's gonna save your life at some point when everybody's really hungry in your home. So don't add anything. The only thing you should be adjusting is your salt. So once you've cooked your ground beef and you see a little bit of that frothiness at the bottom, you're gonna add your cabbage. Place your favorite lid over your cabbage. I don't have a favorite lid for my cast iron, so bear with me. And then you're gonna place your lid on the top and you're gonna let your cabbage wilt down. So in 4 minutes, we're gonna come and we're gonna mix everything up. And after those 4 minutes, you're just gonna combine your ingredients. Place your pan on a medium-low and continue to cook for another 4 minutes. And boom, done. Our dinner is ready to serve. And make sure when you're serving this recipe with beans that your beans are nice and thin and smooth. That way it's easier for your body to digest. You can add a little bit of queso fresco to your beans. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? I'm gonna need somebody very special to say And boom, done. An easy and simple dinner that your whole family is gonna love. What I love about this recipe is that it usually takes me less than 20 minutes to do it, from the rice to the ground beef and cabbage and even our beans. This is the kind of dinner that always gets my family asking for seconds, so you guys are warned. That's so good. As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you, and on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Adios! And my favorite way to enjoy this particular recipe is by adding a little bit of soy sauce to my rice and over my ground beef and cabbage. And for spice, I like some chiltepines. It doesn't taste the same if I don't add those 2 ingredients, so I hope that you guys like my take on this particular recipe. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a juicy chicken, and by the end of this video you'll know the secret to a luxurious chicken broth. And for those of you that stay till the end, I'm going to be sharing an easy recipe with you. 6 chicken drumsticks or thighs, 1 large onion, 10 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1.5 tablespoons of salt, or you can use 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. To your Instant Pot, you want to add your water, black pepper, salt, onion, and your drumsticks or thighs. I find that drumsticks or thighs work best for this recipe, and let's be honest, they're more affordable, so why not? If you do this with chicken breast, you're gonna have the driest chicken breast ever, so stick to thighs and drumsticks.
Something that has a bone and is juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a riddle. That's you.
I use my Instant Pot minimum of 3 times out of the week. It's acting up today, but that's because
For someone that uses it 3 times a week, they sure know how to close that lid.
Hush, hush. We're gonna close our vent. For those of you that are new with an Instant Pot, close it this way. Sometimes once the pressure is building up, you'll see that it's just releasing pressure. I have to jolt it like this a few times.
The newer models don't have that issue.
The big huge one that we have doesn't have that, but these the 8 quarts, you do have to do that sometimes, unless you got a perfect one, but we all know that's not possible. You're gonna pressure cook for 45 minutes, and you're gonna allow for a slow release, and that's gonna take you a total of about an hour, hour and 5 minutes. Once you've slowly released the pressure the first time, we're gonna go ahead and pressure cook one more time for 45 more minutes, and the same thing. We can do that 2 times, and if you have the time and you do it 3 times, even better. And boom, done. Our chicken is ready, soft and tender, and as you can see, it's still really hot in there. And look at how fall apart, tender, and juicy this chicken is. I'm gonna go ahead and start straining and shredding our chicken. And that's your secret to a juicy chicken in a luxurious chicken broth. Once you strain your luxurious chicken broth, you're gonna save your onions because these onions give a delicious flavor to your recipes, almost as if you're using onion seasoning. So you wanna keep that, okay? Make sure you're saving your onions for the recipe that we're gonna be starting in just a few minutes. Once your broth cools, you wanna transfer it into a container. I keep it in this container, pop it in the freezer. If I don't have enough space, I'll use a Ziploc. And I know they sell some silicone trays to place your broth in and freeze it, that it's super easy for you guys. I've already placed about 2.5 cups of chicken broth, which we're gonna need for our recipe in just a moment. Once you shred your chicken, you wanna add a sprinkle of black pepper and combine it. You're gonna need that seasoning for our recipe in just a moment. Once you combine your black pepper into your chicken, you're gonna drizzle a little bit of chicken broth, and that's gonna prevent your chicken from drying. Now for our pescada recipe, you're gonna need 2 cups of maseca. You're gonna add the onions that we saved right on in. You're gonna add about 2 cups of chicken broth. And start combining all of your ingredients until you fully hydrate your masa. Make sure that your chicken broth is warm, not super hot, okay? If it's cold, even better. You see how nice and moist your masa is? That's exactly what you need to avoid the cracking. Make sure you give that a good mix. You're gonna be here about 3 to 4 minutes, okay? I don't want you to quit just because you see everything hydrated. That's not what we're doing here. We're gonna make a really delicious dinner for you. I know it feels and looks a little bit sticky still, but that's okay. We're gonna let this sit here for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then we're gonna get started on making our little round tortillas. You're gonna take a ball from your masa and we're gonna start building up a little ball. So this recipe is called pescadas. Some regions know it as gorditas or sopes. You're from Sonora, you're gonna say it's a gordita. And remember how our dough was super sticky earlier? Now it's a bit softer and just smooth for us. Place it on your tortilla press. And I'm using parchment paper today because I still can't find my little plastic that I use for the tortillas.
Oh no, what a tragedy.
Yep. And you know my tortilla press is very uneven. I have a thinner side and a thicker side, but that's okay. This is the size that we're gonna be using today for our pescada. My cast iron got too hot. As you can see, it turned yellow really quick and it toasted it. It's not gonna go in the trash, okay? It's not like a pancake. We can still use this. But the next one is gonna be beautiful.
And by still using, you mean add some butter and we're gonna split it.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
This shouldn't take you longer than a minute to do when your cast iron is nice and hot. It's just gonna be super easy. And we already know this cast iron is hot because you guys saw our tortilla earlier, okay? No teasing, we're human. It's gonna be so good.
Ahorita te voy a contar un chisme tan bueno y delicioso.
Oh, chisme and some fresh corn tortillitas, pescadas. Perfect. Yeah, this is good. You just kind of have to find out where the heat is coming from for your pan. And since I'm on a glass top, you know, it's kind of wild in there, but it works. All right, come on over here, guys. This is a warning, it gets really hot. This just came off the cast iron. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch
right here. Be very careful.
You can also use a paper towel, right?
Yeah, I've taught you before you can use a paper towel. And I like the pescadas. When I call them pescadas, I tend to make them a little bit larger than the gorditas. You see?
Take us for a spin, baby.
Ooh, DJ pescada. All right, I'm gonna continue with the remaining tortillas and then turn them into pescadas for you. And on this pan over here, I'm gonna start warming up our chicken with that delicious juicy chicken broth. And you can add extra seasonings that you would like, garlic, some ground cumin. It's really gonna be up to you to make it comfortable for your home. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of cumin because everything else is well seasoned. Yummy, yummy. You're a little bit further from me, I miss you.
I wanna go. That's the only way you get me off of the computer, off of work. So now I know you're making this.
I can't wait. Tengo hambre. Comelona.
Okay, go ahead and add some on there.
Let's see how strong your fingers are.
Very strong. Thank you. Ooh, some of the salsa. Ooh.
Oh, Cloudy likes it.
That's so juicy.
Yay.
This tortilla perdida is amazing.
The tortilla perdida.
Yeah, you can taste the flavor in the masa. So good.
Once you're done making your pescadas, you're going to place them back on your cast iron. And since I don't have asientos, what's left over from your carnitas, super delicious, I'm going to put a little bit of butter at the bottom. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. I love butter. So look away if you don't want to use this much. Just kidding. And next, you're going to add your chicken. And it's juicy. It reminds you like something your tia or your abuela would make. And boom, done. We're ready for some toppings. Está bien grande. Thank you. Me da como nostalgia. I know some of you are going to say that takes way too long. It really doesn't. Work on your chicken the day before, and then the next day you can have your pescadas with your chicken or whatever recipe you want to make. But I'm curious to know, what do you call this recipe in your home? I know these as pescadas, and if I fry them, they're gorditas, and the whole world knows them as sopes. But I'm curious. I'm going to enjoy reading your comments today. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and you already know how much I love enchiladas, and the combo I have for you today is gonna blow your chanclas off. We're gonna be using our Instant Pot to cook our carnitas today because this is gonna be a super quick and easy recipe. Make sure that you keep your Instant Pot on warm, and you're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of milk, 2 minced garlics, 1 bay leaf, the juice of 1 orange. Some of you might be wondering why I'm adding milk to our carnitas, and that is to tenderize and keep everything juicy and soft. Add 2 tablespoons of pork fat. And if you're at a Mexican market, if you go to the butcher area, you're gonna find your pork fat in a little container like this. Sometimes it's a clear one, and it has all the drippings from previous carnitas. And let me tell you, it adds so much flavor that you don't wanna skip it. And in order to get this recipe to cook quickly, you want to cut your pork pieces into smaller little bits just like this. And I'm going to be adding 4 pounds. I want a lot of carnitas today. This is a little bit different than how I made it previously in our Instant Pot, but let me tell you, you guys are going to fall in love with this new style of making it.
Well, I want to know why, because I'm currently in the mood to fall in love.
Okay, so previously we sear, cook, and then sear. Today we're gonna cook and then sear. Still the same beautiful flavor that we all love. So now you're gonna add 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Give your beautiful pork a loving mix to make sure that each piece gets coated with our mixture. Seal the deal. And now you're gonna pressure cook for 35 minutes with a quick release. Now, while our carnitas are cooking in the pressure cooker, we're gonna get started on our salsa verde. You're gonna need at least 8 tomatillos, but if they end up being a little bit small, you're gonna need between 8 and 10. So go ahead and add all of those to your blender. A small bunch of cilantro, 1 jalapeno, 1/4 of an onion, and for those of you that love spice, you're gonna add 2 chiles de árbol, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of water, and now you're gonna blend until smooth. And boom, done. Time to cook it. Place your burner on a medium heat and add 1/2 tablespoon of oil. Allow your oil to get hot for a good 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you're gonna add your blended salsa. Mix it with love and continue to cook for another 5 minutes. Make sure to come and stir periodically. And after 5 minutes, you have a beautifully cooked salsa verde. But hang tight because we're not done yet. You want to take 1/2 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, grind it up in your hands, and just drop it like it's hot. This is going to add so much flavor to your salsa, so if you have any left over, it's going to be perfect for dipping your chips in it. Combine that with love. And set it to the side while we start frying up our tortillas. For the method that we'll be doing today, I want you to fry your tortillas for 20 to 30 seconds on each side. And once your carnitas are fully cooked in your pressure cooker, you're gonna put them through a strainer. We wanna remove all the excess liquid. That way when we're frying, we don't get too much popping. We get straight to some crispy carnitas. For a good crisp, I'm going to be using my cast iron. So go ahead and place your cast iron on a high heat and allow it to warm up for a good 3 minutes. Once you get your pan nice and hot just like you're going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of pork fat.
Thank you.
Cloud's all smiles back here, you guys. Watch out.
Ooh, because you complimented me twice today.
Well, I have a beautiful sister. I mean, I can't just sit here and stare at you.
Wow.
I mean, I can, but everybody should know.
You're too kind. I'm excited for this food.
Oh, me too. I'm so hungry. And keep cooking on a medium-high heat for another 5 to 8 minutes until you get the crispiness that we all love from carnitas. And boom, done. Our carnitas are ready for us to assemble them into some delicious enchiladas. Take your corn tortilla and dip it into your salsa verde. Fill it with your desired amount of carnitas, queso fresco, onion and cilantro combo, and roll it up. Add more salsa to the top, some crema fresca, some more onions and cilantro, and some delicious pickled purple onions. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? I'm gonna need somebody very special to say ah. And just like that, you have some delicious carnitas, enchiladas. I think you guys are in for quite a treat. I've had these many times and I'm just happy that I'm able to share this with you today. So please come back and let me know what you think once you've made them. Absolutely delicious. You get such a beautiful balance from your salsa verde, and the tenderness from your carnitas just makes this burst in your mouth with joy. It's like your birthday all over again. Time for you to look away because me and enchiladas are best friends. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today I'm going to show you how to make enchiladas adobadas. If you like a smoky, savory flavor, you're going to love these enchiladas. You'll need corn tortillas, 2 chicken breasts, 3½ cups of chicken broth, 2 cups of cheese, 6 guajillo chiles, 2 ancho chiles, 1 onion, 4 garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice,
and some oil for frying. I have my burner on a medium-high heat. It's been warming up for a good minute and a half, and now I'm going to start to toast our chiles. I'm going to start off with our ancho chiles, and you'll see that they'll puff up quickly. So once you place your chiles on your pan, you're going to lower your temperature to about a medium-low. We want to get that smoky flavor, but we do not want to burn our chiles. And for your guajillo chiles, I've already removed the stems and the seeds. And while your chiles are roasting, you want to add your hot chicken broth, black pepper, Mexican oregano, allspice, chicken bouillon, and your toasted chiles guajillos. Once you remove your chiles guajillos, you're going to start toasting your onion and your garlic. Okay, our chile is nice and soft. You want to put it on your plate and let it cool before you remove the stems and the seeds. Add the remaining chiles, onion, and garlics to your blender. And now you're going to blend until smooth. Oh yeah! And boom, done! Place your burner on a medium heat and you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Next, you're going to add your delicious blended sauce. And corazón, let me tell you something. When you get to this part, your kitchen is going to smell so good that your family's going to start lining up, and you're going to not be ready to serve, but just tell them to hang tight. You're going to give your sauce a loving mix, and you're going to continue to cook on a medium heat for 5 more minutes.
What are you doing, sweetie?
I'm going to start softening up our tortillas. If you want to use the microwave, you can do that. And if your tortillas if your tortillas are very flimsy and fall apart, for example, the Guerrero that I used the other day on our last recipe fell apart, go ahead and fry them first before you dip them and roll them, okay? So all we want is soft tortillas.
That's not our case today.
Not our case today. Cloud scored some really delicious tortillas. Thank you, Cloud.
You're welcome.
And after 5 minutes, you want to give it the final stir. You want to turn off your temperature, and what you want to do at this moment is you want to taste your sauce. If you feel that you need a little bit more saltiness, you can add more chicken bouillon or salt. And my sister Cloud's going to taste it for us, and we're going to decide together if we want more salt or if it's perfect.
Ooh, it's perfect.
That's absolutely delicious. Some of you are going to think it's soup and want to, indulge.
Gosh.
Go ahead. Un atolito is not a bad idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling our enchiladas.
Sorry, I'm licking the spoon. It's so good.
It's so good, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
And you're more than welcome to do it the traditional way of making enchiladas, but my family loves baked enchiladas. I don't know why. Maybe it's me that I, got them used to it. But you're going to take a little bit of your sauce and you're going to place it at the bottom of your baking dish. And I know why. It's because I love anything in a casserole dish. If you're the same, let me know in the comments. Optional but not necessary, I chopped fresh white onion into our chicken just to enhance the flavor. But if you guys don't like onion, keep it out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your tortilla, you're going to dip it into your sauce. And a lot of the times you ask me, Steph, why didn't you dip it this time? Sometimes the tortillas don't allow for that. They're falling apart, They're going through something and they don't make it to the dish. Add your cheese. Roll it up and line it up. One more time for those of you in the back.
Yep, I'm sitting in the back.
Add your chicken. And if you're not up for chicken today, go ahead and just add cheese. It'll taste just as good. I'm going to continue with the remaining enchiladas. Make sure to place your oven at 380 degrees and hang tight. This is enough sauce for about 15 enchiladas. So you kind of want to go from there on how many you're going to make that day or if you're going to save some for later. And next, you're going to add some sauce over the top of your enchiladas. Remember to cover the edges because they're the first ones to dry up. But if you've ever had microwave enchiladas, you're not going to be crying about these.
I did one time and I instantly regretted that.
I'm shameless. I'll eat them. They're enchiladas. I don't care. I'm going to eat them. You call them enchiladas? Let me have them. And now you're going to add your cheese. Beautiful, beautiful. Just like you. Yeah, I'm talking to the Views Club Junior. And now you're going to bake your enchiladas at 380 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. And when you see that cheese bubbling and it's melty, that means it's time for your enchiladas to come out of that sauna and into your belly.
And boom, done. Our enchiladas are ready. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say You know when you go to a restaurant and they take their time to make you your authentic enchiladas? Well, that's what this tastes like. And remember, if your tortillas aren't working out for you, it's okay. Just go ahead and toast them first, fry them, and then dip them into your sauce so that way they don't fall apart in your oven. But if you're gonna make any enchiladas this week, I suggest you try these adobada ones because they're out of this world. Absolutely delicious. Look away. It's gonna get dangerous in here. You'll need large flour tortillas, 3 cups of shredded chicken, 3 roasted poblano peppers, 16 ounces of Mexican cream, 1 cup of chicken broth, your desired amount of melty cheese, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of butter, chicken bouillon or salt to taste, and oil for frying. To your shredded chicken, you want to add 1/4 of a cup of your Mexican cream. Then you want to add your roasted and chopped poblano peppers. Make sure to keep about 1/2 cup on the side because we're going to use this for our topping. And you just want to combine all of your ingredients. Some of you might need a little bit extra seasoning or an extra bite. You can add potatoes, corn to this recipe, but I like to keep it nice and simple with this juicy chicken. We're going to continue by making our luxurious silky sauce. You're going to need to put your burner on a medium heat and add 1 tablespoon of butter. Once your butter melts, you're going to add your all-purpose flour. And you're going to combine that quickly. Allow your flour and your butter to combine and cook for about 20 seconds. You don't want to burn it, but you also don't want that raw flour taste, okay? Next, you're going to add your chicken broth. And mix until everything is well combined. Once you've fully combined all your ingredients, you're going to notice that your chicken broth gets a little bit thicker, and that's when you want to add your Mexican crema. If you don't have access to Mexican crema, not to worry. I'm going to make sure to leave a lot of suggestions for you in the description area.
That one's so good, the menonita.
The menonita, yes.
Yes, crema menonita. Ooh.
Oh my goodness, this is looking so beautiful. I just want to jump right on in. And once again, once you've combined your ingredients, you're going to add 1 cup of your melty cheese. I'm using quesadilla cheese, which usually ends up being asadero cheese. Or you can also use Oaxaca mozzarella. Those are all beautiful and luxurious. Once you add your cheese, you want to place your temperature on a low heat. A lot of you remember that my ex loves cheese, and probably why he keeps asking me to make him this. Look at this sauce. Alright, so once your cheese is melted, everything's well combined, you want to turn your burner off, and we're going to get started by filling our chimichangas. Some of you might not be using the Mexican cream that I'm using, and for those of you, I would suggest taste it, and if you need to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of your chicken bouillon, you're more than welcome to add it to your chicken broth before you add it to the sauce. In this bowl, I have all-purpose flour, and I add water until I create a nice, amazing paste. That's going to keep all of our burrito nice and sealed. Add your desired amount of cheese, your chicken filling. And if it sounds extra juicy, is that I did add a little bit of chicken broth at the bottom, and it just creamed everything so well and just beautifully. Ooh, so excited. Boom, done. I'm going to set it aside and continue rolling the remaining chimichangas. I've already warmed up my oil, and a way that I check it that most of you know is I stick a wooden chopstick, a wooden spoon, toothpicks, anything that's wood and not coated. And once you see those bubbles, that means that we're ready to fry. If you see smoke coming out of your pan, that means it is way too hot. Place your chimichanga in your frying oil carefully, and we're going to continue to fry for max 2 minutes, okay? And if you can see here, you can make them really big or you can make them very small. Well, that's not very small, that's still really big. But you guys know somebody has a big appetite. And you slowly want to start flipping it about every 20 to 30 seconds.
Can these be made in the air fryer?
They sure can. They can. I don't know the exact temperature because I'm not using my air fryer that much. But for those of you that make chimichangas in your air fryer and you want to share with the rest of our friends, you're more than welcome to leave a comment. And once your chimichangas are nice and golden, that means that you got to take them out of that oil. And I'm going to continue with the remaining chimichangas. You can add a few of your roasted poblanos right on top. And boom, done. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Mexican fideo soup, and by the end of this video you're going to know how to cut time, not flavor. You'll need 1 pack of fideo noodles, 6 cups of chicken broth, 4 tomatoes, half an onion, 3 garlic cloves, a small bunch of cilantro, and oil for frying. Let's start by adding our tomatoes, onion, and garlic to our blender. One cup of chicken broth. And now you're going to blend until smooth. And boom, done! I like to pour the fideo into a strainer and then add it to hot oil. That ensures that I have an even fry all over my noodles and I don't have any of the extra burn ones that we tend to get when you're frying it on the pan. Our oil is nice and hot, and I tend to have this pan for quick French fries. I always have a pan of hot oil. And this is just going to help you fry your noodles evenly. And we have an even fried fideo. Beautiful. You know, when I do it the other way, I tend to burn 1 or 2, and this just guarantees you in less than a minute you have a perfectly fried fideo that we need. So once you do that, you're going to add that to your pan. That smells so good, right?
It sure does.
We have our burner on a medium heat, and now you're going to add your blended ingredients. And once you combine your ingredients, you're going to allow this to cook for 2 more minutes with the lid off. And after 2 minutes, you want to add your chicken broth. If you don't have access to fresh chicken broth, not to worry. I'm a fan of chicken bouillon, and I'll leave the suggestion for you in the description area. Give that a loving mix. Add a small bunch of cilantro for flavor. If you don't like cilantro, you can use a little bit of parsley. I'm going to turn my burner to a medium-low heat. Crack the lid, and I'll see you guys in 15 to 18 minutes. And after 15 minutes, our fideo is ready. If you notice, the broth in here is nice and strong because I used fresh chicken broth. And also, I didn't strain our blended ingredients. That gives it a thicker, more luxurious sauce. I don't know. If this isn't romantic, I don't know what is, Cloud. I know what's more romantic than this.
What's that?
That you can make all this pot of soup for under $5. That's romantic.
Very romantic. Extremely.
Shout out to all my single mothers out there. I know it's hard sometimes, but hey, you got this with a little bit of fideo. I love you guys. And for all the single dads doing it on your own, I'm proud of you.
Thank you for showing up.
It's ready for a delicious taste. Do you want your zippiness?
Yes, please.
1?
Yeah.
Buen provecho.
Thank you. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say ah and feed themselves today.
And it's the cutest little guy in the kitchen.
So creamy, Mom.
You like that? Ooh. See, I like using the fresh chicken broth whenever I have access to it because it does give you a creamier base. For those of you that like a super runny, light soup, Definitely look in the description because I'm gonna share a lot of details with you guys. And now it's time for me to feed the rest of my family. There you go.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today we're making chicken stew. If you love tinga and you love stew, this recipe's for you. And it's super easy to meal prep this recipe for your loved ones. I hope you guys enjoy. To your chicken, you're gonna add cumin, black pepper, salt, oil of your choice. Today I'm using olive oil, minced garlic, and you want to fully combine all your ingredients. Make sure that your seasonings coat every last piece of chicken. Next, you want to add your baking soda and your cornstarch. And again, we're going to combine all our ingredients to make sure every last piece is coated. And once you fully combine all your ingredients, you're going to set this to the side for a minimum of 10 minutes. I pre-soaked my guajillo chilies in some warm water for about 10 minutes. I removed the stems and the seeds, and what you want to do is you want to add them right into your blender. Add your desired amount of chipotle peppers. I'm going to go with 4 because we love the flavor and the smell of chipotles. And if you don't want chipotle, you can't handle the spice, that's okay. You can use a little bit of canned hatch chilies. And you're going to add your garlic, tomatoes, your onions. You can use fresh chicken broth or you can use some hot water, throw in some chicken bouillon like I did and pour it right on in. And to balance the spice in here, I've been using piloncillo, also known as panocha, but if you don't have access to this, you can use a little bit of molasses. And now you want to blend until smooth. And boom, done. Place your burner on a medium-high heat. Add your chorizo, onions, and your chicken. This is a drop and go recipe and I hope you love it. Continue cooking your ingredients for another 6 minutes. Make sure to come and stir periodically. And I'm cooking with beef chorizo today, and the smell extruding from this pot is amazing. It's potpourri in my kitchen. One final stir, and then you're gonna add your sauce. Add a little piece or a small bay leaf, you know, the ones that are cracked and nobody wants to use, just add a little bit of it. You're gonna give your stew a loving mix. Once your pot reaches a boil, you're going to continue to cook on a medium-low heat for another 10 to 15 minutes. You want to look for the sauce to get nice and thick and make sure to come and stir periodically. My son loves french fries with any kind of stew, and to satisfy his hunger, I'm going to make him some french fries, and I like to do that while our stew is cooking. Our stew is about done. I'm just going to take these french fries out and salt them, and then I'm going to be ready to serve you, my dear. And boom, done. Our beautiful stew is ready. And you get that perfect thickness. Doesn't matter if you're going to be using bread, rice, tortillas, it's going to be delicious. I showed you in our pot roast recipe how to make the oregano rice. It's super easy. I'll link the recipe in the description area. And that's what I'm going to be pairing our recipe today with. And make sure to add enough sauce because you can dip just about everything in there. I'm also going to be placing a little bit of a salad. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say
Buen provecho.
Thank you. And I think anything stewy and rice for me right now is just hitting the spot.
All right, it's here. I love how you said those fries were for the boys.
I only got a few.
Okay.
I left a lot more for them.
You did.
And I'm on 11 days of no soda. Cheer for me, you guys.
Ooh, cheers. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a wannabe limeade.
Nice. With or without sugar?
No sugar.
Okay. I'm proud of you.
Nothing like a hearty stew after shoveling snow with your boys. You guys should look away because I'm going to go sit with my boys and finish our dinner. I hope that you guys have a lovely evening.
What are you making for us today, little chicharron?
Bebe asked me for mommy's mac and cheese, and mommy's mac and cheese is, yes, you already know. I love enchiladas and so does he, but he also loves macaroni and cheese, so we're going to be making creamy, cheesy chicken enchilada mac and cheese.
How exciting.
I'm excited.
When your Texas accent comes in.
Wow. I can't beat that Texan accent. I had a friend that was making fun of me about it, but hey, Once you're in Texas, it never goes away. And for those of you that are busy and don't want to boil your chicken and you know you can just grab an affordable rotisserie chicken, that's exactly what we're going to be using today for this recipe. And that ends up being about 2 to 3 cups of shredded chicken. And not to worry, friends, everything's in the description listed for you guys, okay? We're going to be using breadcrumbs and some melted butter, flour and butter. I have a blend of queso Oaxaca and medium cheddar, but you can use any kind of melty cheese. If you're using pre-shredded cheese, you're gonna run into a more clumpier consistency, but it's still gonna work out. The kids will not complain. I've soaked 8 guajillo chiles, removed the stems and the seeds with 2 garlic cloves. We're gonna be using 1 to 1.5 cups of chicken broth to blend our chilies. And I have some pre-cooked macaroni. Over here, we have about 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. If you don't have heavy whipping cream, you can use Mexican crema fresca or half and half. We're going to be seasoning with tomato chicken bouillon. You can use a regular one as well. And we're also going to be using Mexican oregano, my favorite. I have some softened onions, and this is optional. I know a lot of people don't like onions in their mac and cheese, but this is going to enhance the flavor, and my family absolutely loves it. So now that we have all our ingredients, let's go ahead and start cooking. I took our guajillo chilies out of our warm water that they were soaking in for about 10 minutes. I have 2 garlic cloves in there. And now I'm just gonna add about 1 cup to 1.5 cups, enough to blend our chilies and give us a nice smooth sauce.
What are you adding, chicken stock? Broth?
This is chicken broth. You can use chicken stock or you can use warm water, add your chicken bouillon in here, but I'm gonna enhance the flavor by adding some chicken bouillon. Shout out to all of Youth Club Junior.
We love you.
We do love you. You guys know what's coming up. So go ahead and blend until smooth. And boom, done. And for those of you that want it super smooth, you can strain it if you're using a Ninja blender, but if you're using a high-powered blender, you can just pour it right on in.
Do you say that because of the chili skin?
Yeah, you have some of the chili skin there, but I really don't mind it. I think it's gonna add like fun color, like confetti to the mac and cheese, and whatever I can do to impress my kids, I'm gonna do.
That's right. Hey guys, it's Cloud, and I wanted to let you know that, oh, excuse the gum in my mouth, but I linked these green pans in our Amazon storefront. If you need help finding them, drop me a comment and I will help guide you through the complicated internet. So we love you guys, and remember that we're here to help.
If you're using the green pans, set your burner on a medium-low heat. Now, if you have a different style pan, they can handle more heat. These are very, very hot, and if you put it on medium heat with these, it'll burn your butter. So just adjust to what you need. Go ahead and add your butter.
And how do we know? Because we've been there, done that.
Yep, we did it. I burned butter this week, you guys.
We're like little Dora the Explorer here in this kitchen. We did it.
And once you see your butter melting, go ahead and add your all-purpose flour. And combine those ingredients quickly, okay? Oh, it's getting too hot, so I'm gonna set this to the side just a moment. I don't wanna burn anything.
You're just cooking the flour, right?
You're just cooking the flour. You wanna do that maybe about 10 seconds, not too much. You don't wanna burn it, but you just don't want that raw flour flavor.
Okay.
Next, you're gonna add your heavy whipping cream, your half and half, your Mexican crema, your choice. Make it comfortable for your home always, friends. Okay, now I'm gonna bring it back. Bring it back.
Can you add the crema in the can to this as well?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Of course you can.
Wonderful.
Cloud's being corny today, you guys.
Really, it's me, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Once you add your heavy whipping cream and you combine those ingredients, go ahead and add your enchilada sauce.
That's what happens when you're in love. You bring the corniness.
Yes. And I love you too.
I love life, and I love my family.
All right, combine and combine.
I love my friends too, I guess.
Oh my gosh, there's a song on the internet about loving your friends. I want to hear your version of it. All right, combine and combine all your ingredients. Here's what we're gonna do next. You ready for this, Cloud?
I think so. Based on this color, I already know that this dish is gonna be amazing. It's my first time trying it, you guys.
Well, Bebe tried it and he loves it, and he's a mac and cheese lover, so I believe him. Believe my little guy. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna blend the Mexican oregano.
You're gonna crush it between your fingers, get that nice oil to release the perfume, the flavors.
It sounded way better when you said it. We're gonna listen to what your Tia Cloud said, okay?
Brush your teeth, kids. I run into too many kids that haven't been brushing their teeth. Stinky boys.
And don't be crusty. Brush your teeth, guys. Especially after some mac and cheese. Go ahead and add your Mexican oregano and give that a good, gentle, loving mix. That's good and gentle. You see that?
I see it.
That smells good. You can throw some spaghetti in here.
It looks like Cloud's chicken dip color. That's why I love it so
That's
much.
what you, oh,
yes.
you guys, she came close for this.
I did.
Okay, currently my heat's on a medium low, which is perfect, but I need this to heat up together so that we can melt our cheese, okay? So hang tight. That should take us about a minute and a half, too.
Please let it fit. Please let it fit.
It's gonna fit. Oh, it's nice and warm, so it's just, you know, doing what it has to do back here. And yes, friends, I end up washing my hands at least maybe 17 times a day, and they're clean.
Yes,
Don't worry. It's mom's love here. And now it's time to add our favorite part. But what you want to do here is you want to sprinkle it in. Make sure that you leave some of this combination because we're going to be placing some of this cheese on the top of our baking dish.
And something I learned from you is to add a little bit at a time so it doesn't get grainy.
That is correct.
That still the case?
Yes, and you don't want to cook this at a high temperature because then you're going to get very, very clumpy and overcook your cheese, and that's not what we want to do. We want some creaminess, so be careful on your temperature. Okay?
Is there a reason why you didn't wear pants today?
We're not talking about this.
Ooh, we love a good pile of cheese.
Okay, the reason I'm not wearing pants today is because I'm actually going to be staying home today, I think. I don't foresee anything happen unless Cloud changes her mind, and then I'll grab some jeans, you guys. So go ahead and add a few handfuls.
At least one of us is wearing pants today.
I'm wearing shorts. I'm covered up. Don't listen to your Tia Cloud. She's being rude.
Oh, but earlier it was listen to Tia Cloud. Ooh.
So if you guys are using a glass top burner, I have it right below a number 2. Look at that. This is great for dip if you were just to add your chicken. Ooh, yummy. So this is love.
It is. We got a taste of that sauce and it is love.
It's perfect. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. And set this to the side. Just like this. So now that we have our amazing pot, we're gonna add our onions.
One of my favorite parts of watching you cook is that you scrape all the ingredients. You don't leave any behind.
Well, somebody's working hard for them. And that's a lot of us. We're all connected, friends. We're all connected.
Oh, she's gonna give us a circle of life now.
Your shredded chicken. And friends, this is gonna fill a teenager and a very, very hungry hippo.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Give that a loving mix. Combine all your ingredients. I'm so glad I switched into this big pot. And casserole moms, I love you. I've missed you. Where have you been?
They've missed you too.
I hope that you win at your church competition for a bake, a casserole. Bring it, ladies, bring it!
Dude, the PTA moms and the casserole moms, man, they get down with the food.
And any taco shop or restaurant that decides to sell this recipe, please tag us. We'd love to go and check out. Mm-hmm. Wow. That queso Oaxaca really brings that stretch. Look at that creaminess.
It sure does.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's like a yo-yo of cheese. Yo, yo, yo. Go ahead and pour it in. Combine all your ingredients, and since everything's already cooked, you just warm this up a little bit and you can have a stovetop mac and cheese. And boom, done type thing. But my kids like it baked. I currently have the oven preheating at 380 degrees for us, and I have some panko crumbs, and I'm gonna add a little bit of cotija. So for those of you that don't have panko, you can use cotija. It is gonna burn fast, so be careful. I'm gonna add some butter. Give it a quick mix. And my kids love the panko topping on mac and cheese.
They have good taste.
So it's gonna be up to you. Yes, it's gonna fit. And it's always easier to sprinkle the panko crumbs with your hands. You can do it with the spoon, whatever you're comfortable with, but for me this works best. Try not to overdo it, because then they won't cook throughout. They'll just burn on the top.
Hey, that's a good tip. Thanks.
Make sure to place your mac and cheese in the center rack, and you're gonna bake until you see it bubbling. That should take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, okay? After 10 minutes, come take a look. You don't want to make sure that nothing's burning on the top. If for some reason you see that they're getting a bit crispy, you can put a piece of foil or parchment paper on the top, but you want to make sure that it's bubbling on the sides. And boom, done, amigos. We're ready for a taste. I wanted it to fall like a volcano hot lava cloud.
It is hot lava.
Friends, this is true to color. Your family's gonna absolutely love this dish. Now who's ready for a delicious taste?
I think we all are.
You're all ready? And friends, don't be shy to shout us out on TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube. You guys make this recipe, let us know. We'd love to see how you made it comfortable for your home. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say
Yeah, that's me. Thank you.
There you go. Take your plate, honey.
Ooh. I wasn't expecting all this goodness. I mean,
weren't?
I was, but...
Okay, Cloud hasn't had this before. There's a lot that happens in this house when you're not here.
I know, I love the chicken in here. It's perfect. The flavor is everything.
Do you remember that place, Sweet Tomatoes? This is something that they would have there, right?
I was thinking more like macaroni grill. I'm just kidding.
Good hope. Wow. Friends, my tip to you is have a lot of fun when you're making this recipe. And the only thing you're gonna have to adjust is your chicken bouillon and the amount of Mexican oregano that you like. I tend to use I start off with half with you guys, but I always go heavy on it. So it's really gonna be up to you, even if you go with 1.5 tablespoons and end up using 2.5 tablespoons of your chicken bouillon. It's gonna be where you guys are at. Some of you are picky with your saltiness and flavoring, and some of you like it a little bit more light. So make it comfortable for your home.
Okay, babe, I was so right about this dish. It's perfect.
And he's super picky about the chicken, and you hide that protein well in here. Like, we know it's there, but the kids aren't gonna complain.
Ooh, the crunch on top. So flavorful.
It really makes it, right? That crunchiness, and it's really, really creamy. I really love how creamy it stays. So all your ingredients are listed in the description area. If you need help, make sure to leave a comment. And if you need help finding a certain product on our channel, make sure to ask Cloud. Say, Thea, Cloud, I need your help.
I'm here to help, even the bad kids.
So good.
Te aventaste, mija.
Thank you,
This
thank
is
you,
a
thank
10
you.
out of 10,
Thank
girl.
you.
It's good.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I think you guys are gonna love this one. When you can't stop eating it. Well, you guys wanted me back in the kitchen, so now I'm being super mommy.
That's where we like you.
I'm not being bossy mommy, I'm being super mommy. Good cool.
Yeah, this came out amazing.
As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and leave us a beautiful comment. And on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Adios! Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to make the most easy and delicious chicken dinner. This is a recipe that my family requests often, and once I show you how to make it, you're going to understand why.
You'll need 2 chicken breasts, 7 guajillo chilies, make sure to remove the stems and the seeds, 1½ onions, 3 garlic cloves, 1 jalapeno, a small bunch of cilantro, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1½ cups of water, ½ a cup of heavy whipping cream, 1½ cups of melty cheese, ½ a tablespoon of Mexican oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon.
I've already cut my chicken into smaller pieces, and next what you're going to do is you're going to add your ground cumin, your Mexican oregano, black pepper, smoked paprika, and if you only have regular paprika, that's okay. Combine all your ingredients so that we can fully coat our chicken with the seasoning. Next, you're gonna add your salt, and just a little bit because we're gonna be using chicken bouillon, and we also wanna keep our chicken juicy, so we don't wanna add too much salt right now. Add your olive oil, add your garlic, and fully combine all your ingredients. Once you fully combine all your ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and set our chicken to the side for about 10 minutes, and while our chicken is resting and getting all its flavor, we're gonna get started on our sauce. And for those of you that have selective eaters at home, I asked my youngest son if he wanted to have chicken today. He said no, he wasn't in a mood, so I just chopped up some firm tofu. I seasoned it exactly the same way that I did our chicken, and I'm gonna sear it just like we do our chicken. To your blender, you wanna add your water, cilantro,
Onion,
jalapeno, and if you have family members that prefer spicy dishes, you can use a serrano. Now, if you have relatives from Mexico visiting, you're gonna wanna use about 3 serranos for this recipe. Add your chicken bouillon, your guajillo chilies, and next you wanna blend it until smooth. And boom, done. Set your burner on a medium heat and add your butter. Once you add your butter, you're gonna add your chicken. Give that a quick mix and continue to cook for another 6 minutes without moving anything. After about 6 minutes, you're going to give that another good mix. Add your onions and another good mix. And we're gonna continue to cook for another 5 minutes on a medium heat. Next, you wanna give that a good mix, and you just want your onions to be translucent, okay? So once your onions have become a nice little translucent color, we're gonna go ahead and add our sauce. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of sauce that I have left over to our tofu. Once you combine all your ingredients, you're going to lower your temperature to a medium-low heat, and we're going to continue to cook with the lid on for another 10 minutes. And I'm just going to crack the lid because if I don't, it gets wild in here. Next, you're going to add your heavy whipping cream. If you don't have access to heavy whipping cream, that's okay. You can use half and half, and if you don't have either, you can use milk. Once you combine your heavy whipping cream into your sauce, you're going to get a handful of your cheese. And maybe a little bit more. You're going to turn your burner off. You're gonna give that a good mix. And we are ready to serve. All we're doing is waiting for our French fries to be fully cooked and crispy. And as far as your tofu, you can do the same. You can add your cream in here. You can add some cheese. It's really gonna be up to you on how you wanna dress up your tofu. And I love to serve this recipe with a little side salad. I'm gonna be using some lettuce, cucumber, tomato, carrots, and a little bit of lime. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say Provecho. Thank you. Make sure to squeeze your lime on your salad, okay? This dish is very Mexican restaurant style. Anytime you go out to a place where you have seafood, you have your dish, French fries, rice, salad. And let me tell you, this just gets better every time.
Yes, we know we're eating chicken, but we wanted to eat the sides.
Well, our audience doesn't let us eat shrimp in front of them.
They don't like shrimp around here. A handful.
Mmm. Wow. This sauce is absolutely delicious.
You did such a wonderful job. It's so flavorful.
Sometimes I could even surprise myself. Mmm. If you don't want to deal with the chicken, make the sauce and load your French fries and you guys are set. But I highly suggest you make the chicken, and I already showed you guys how you can make it with tofu. Super easy. Well, it's about to get really dirty in here because it is a sloppier dish for me to eat. And, well, you guys have seen me through worse, so. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to make fried ground beef gorditas, and by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to make your fried ground beef gorditas just like your abuelita. For your masa, you'll need 2 cups of maseca, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a tablespoon of baking powder, half a tablespoon of salt, 2 to 3 cups of water. To a bowl, you wanna add your all-purpose flour, maseca, baking powder, salt, and you're gonna combine your ingredients. Once you've combined your ingredients, you're gonna gradually add your water. When I'm working a masa, I kinda just hydrate it by squeezing first, and then I come around, squeeze a little bit more. And you don't wanna completely soak your masa, we just wanna hydrate it, okay? We don't want it to have too much moisture because we're frying it. And this is a time where practice makes perfect. And friends, I'm not trying to catch a rhythm right now. I'm just making sure that our masa is nice and smooth. Once you prepared your masa, you want to let it set for 10 to 15 minutes, and now it's time to start preparing our filling. And for your filling, you'll need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 large potato chopped into small cubes, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, paprika, salt, and pepper, and a lot of oil. Set your pan on a medium-high heat, and then you're gonna add your ground beef. If you're using a pan that tends to stick, you wanna add a little bit of oil, let it warm up a bit before you add your ground beef. But in my case, these pans have been working out amazingly. So go ahead and add your ground beef and start breaking it down. It's summertime, I wanna see you guys moving. Or I might be off by a few weeks, but you know what I mean, guys, it's hot out. Although our climate is pretty up and down. We have rain, snow, all in a period of a week.
We love you, Colorado.
We do. Shout out to all of our friends here in Colorado. Next, you want to start adding all your seasonings. And once you add all your seasonings, you're going to give that a quick little mix.
Because baby, you're worth it.
Ooh, cloud. It's summertime.
I know, I'm so happy.
Summer cloud is out.
Get ready. And what that just means is that I'm going to read 2 books instead of 1 every month.
Pretty much.
It's going to get dangerous. Look away.
We haven't been hanging out over the weekends, friends, so I've been watching a few movies. And I had a good selection going.
We haven't been hanging around just because I switched you for your kids one weekend.
Thank you for the break. I appreciate it.
It was so much fun.
I'm going to continue to break down our ground beef into small little bits.
And I'm gonna lower my temperature to a medium heat.
And since you're going to be breaking it down here, can you break it down and tell us which movie we should watch?
Yeah, I watched, it's called Big Eyes. It's an older movie. Not too old, but the kids would say it's really old. I mean, I did get called 90s parents this week, so. But I watched Big Eyes. I really like art. I like going to museums. I'm a very creative person, so to see her receive her justice after all that happened to her, oh, it had me crying. I was so proud for her, and such a talented lady. Even if she's watching, hello.
Oh no. But you're right though, it is a very thin line between flattery and just completely taking someone's look and their art and it's just...
And your creativity. I think as an artist, you end up being a starving artist because you're so passionate about your art. So I'm very grateful that y'all have embraced my art in the kitchen. And I dabble with things here and there.
And don't steal, friends. We're all unique in our own little way.
Yes, you're all perfect, and you know,
be yourself.
Be yourself.
That's right.
All right, that looks pretty good to me here. Okay. So once you've broken down your ground beef into the way that you would like it, it's time to add our potatoes. And to your pot, you want to add about 1/4 of a cup of water. Don't go too heavy on it. We just need enough to continue to cook our potatoes. So give that a quick mix.
Anything for the Views Club. I'm so close right now.
You are very, very close. Somebody loves you. And it's Cloud. And now I'm going to lower my temperature, put a lid on our pot, and we're going to continue to cook until our potatoes are nice and soft. That should take anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. After that time, you want to turn it off, but now it's time to get started on our gorditas. And I want you to see that when your dough is nice and rested, it's just really soft. You see that? Just beautiful. So just grab a little puñito, a little bunch. And all I did was give it a little press, 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 and then make a little bolita. Why? Because that's how I was taught.
And a little bolita is a little ball.
A little ball, okay? Since my tortilla press is pretty horrible, I don't know if you guys feel the same at home, I like to flatten it just a little bit to help it out while it presses. Place your little ball in the center, or at this point it's a disc, and you're gonna lightly press it, okay? Use a light hand, not a heavy hand, which is difficult for me. Anything I do, it's just heavy. And I like to place a parchment paper here on my baking sheet, and then I'll just line them up quickly so that it's a lot easier when it's time to fry. And I'm gonna continue with the remaining gorditas. You see everything is fully cooked. Now you wanna turn your burner off and set this to the side. With a wooden chopstick, a wooden spoon, a toothpick, anything wood that's not coated, you wanna dip it into your frying oil. Once it starts to bubble, that means that you're ready to fry. But if you see any smoke coming out of your pan, that means that you took it too far. You're gonna have to wait about 15 minutes for it to cool up just a bit in order for you to fry. For us, it's go time. The masa has eyes.
Big eyes.
And that's exactly what you want. You want your masa to puff up like that so that when we have to cut it in half and fill it, it's super easy for you guys at home. Right when it comes out, you want to be careful, but you want to slice it right down the center, just like that. A nice delicious little pocket. And what I like to do so it can keep its shape while I'm making the rest of them, I get a piece of parchment paper, I crumble it, I place it right down the center, and it'll be ready when it's time to fill. And for those of you that are just getting started, I don't want you to get scared of cooking, okay? It's okay to make mistakes in the kitchen. That's the only way that you're gonna learn. So if you fry it up just a little bit too much, not to worry, you're gonna be able to slice it right on through and make yourself a crispier gordita, okay? You got this, don't quit.
Remember not to overfill them because we're still going to be adding some guacamole and some salsa. Some of you like lettuce and you can do that too. You can put whatever toppings you want.
Right, no rules for toppings.
No rules for toppings. Crema fresca, all that good stuff. I know you guys don't think that I wasn't going to serve it casserole style. I'm still in that mood. Don't you worry.
We're here for it.
I'm gonna need somebody very special to say thank you. And before I take a bite, I want to tell you a quick tip. Have a lot of fun when you're making this. Don't overthink it. And if it doesn't turn out well the first time, not to worry. Try it again. And the more you try it and work with this recipe, you're gonna become just like your abuelita. It's so pretty, I almost don't want to eat it.
It's beautiful, just like the hands that made it.
Wow, that's amazing. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today we're going to take your taste buds on a south of the border adventure with our delicious Mexican potato salad. And just like any potato salad, you're going to need lots of potatoes. If you're wondering how many per person, I would say 1.5 potatoes per person. Unless you have somebody like Cloud, then you're going to need 2. Let's start by peeling our washed potatoes. Once you peel your potatoes, you want to start chopping them. Oh, se quedó atascada esta. Oh. And when you're chopping, you want them to be about this thick. You saw her fingers? And do you stare? Because you can do it all by yourself. What I was trying to say is that the best part of this recipe is that your potatoes don't have to be perfect. Place your potatoes in some cold water to avoid any oxidation. Once you're done slicing your potatoes, you're gonna strain all the water from your bowl, and we're gonna place this in the microwave for 10 minutes. Make sure that before you place your potatoes in the microwave, you place it with a wet paper towel.
Any alternatives for those that don't use a microwave?
You can steam it on your stovetop. This is the easiest way to get our French fries done. Be careful with the steam, it's really hot. I'm going to place my potatoes on a rack just so that we can get rid of all the excess moisture and water. And with the paper towel or a kitchen cloth, you're going to go ahead and tap all the excess moisture. Some of them might stick, but that's okay. That just means that your frying is going to go beautifully.
Because I was going to ask, is this necessary? These are a lot of steps.
It's not a lot of steps when you want a perfectly fried French fry.
All right, you got me on that one.
Yep. We did this last summer and you guys know it works. And you can get French fries at any time.
Ooh.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
That's how we're such good friends.
Don't judge me, don't judge me. While your potatoes are drying, you want to take that time to start slicing your cabbage. Make sure that your cabbage is sliced thin, paper thin. And that's what sets this salad apart from the rest. It's fine, and finer than the Views Club. On this one, I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry, but it does have to be finer than you for this recipe. I learned from the best, the Sonoran ladies. Y'all can get down. Saludos a mi gente de Sonora, San Luis Río Colorado, los quiero mucho. Les mando un besote y un abrazote. And while you're slicing your cabbage, you want to make sure that you're warming up your hot oil. You want to make sure to chop enough cabbage to have it be 50-50% ratio between your cabbage and your potatoes. Thin and beautifully shredded cabbage. I'm going to show you how to check the temperature of your oil for frying without a thermometer. I've shared it with you many times on our channel, and I'm going to do it again. You're going to need an uncoated spoon, uncoated chopstick, or your toothpicks, and you're going to place it right into your oil. Once you place it into your oil and you see vigorous bubbles, that means that you're ready to fry. And if you end up seeing a lot of smoke, you're going to have to set your pan to the side, turn off your burner, allow it to cool for about 20 minutes, and then you can try this method one more time. but that's the vigorous bubble that's gonna get everything fried to perfection. Now you're gonna place your potatoes in your pan and you're gonna fry until they're crispy. Make sure you don't overcrowd your pan because you want these potatoes to fry freely. And you also don't want to go past the middle part of your pan with the oil because then it's going to overflow. So take it easy, take your time, and these fries are going to be ready in no time. And look at how beautiful our French fries look. That took me about 8 minutes. I was able to keep my oil nice and hot the whole time. And that's what's gonna make a difference to making perfect French fries at home. Make sure that you don't overcrowd your pan and you add a good amount of fries, because if you put a lot at once, they're not gonna be able to fry on all sides. You're gonna get some that are soggy, and that's not what we wanna do. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I am using canola oil. I only use canola oil to fry, because if not, Cloud will not show up and record for us. And we need her here, you guys.
Well, thank you. I'm happy.
So share some love with my sister Cloud in the comments.
No, don't make me blush.
And right when you're done, that's when you want to salt your French fries. Give that a beautiful shake. A little bit more. Another shake. And I'm really loving this basket. I purchased it a few years ago for my Instant Pot, but it somehow seems to work with everything that I fry. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, you're gonna need some McCormick mayonesa. It has a hint of lime, and let me tell you, it's different than buying mayonnaise and adding lime to it. So if you're gonna pick a mayonnaise for this particular recipe, go with this one. This is a 7-ounce jar, and I'm kicking it old school by scraping it out of the jar. It's still glass. You hear that? I love it. You guys already know I'm going to recycle this jar.
Mother Nature thanks you.
Yes, yes. It's a beautiful jar. I like the design it has.
It's vintage, just like
it is vintage, just like me. Add your cabbage. A little bit of pepper. And give that a loving mix. You want to make sure to coat every single piece of your cabbage. Add your French fries. Start mixing your salad. You want to make sure that every single French fry is fully coated. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? Once you serve your delicious salad, you can add your favorite hot sauce, the Views chili oil, but I prefer it with a little bit of Valentina. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say I love that with every bite you get fresh cabbage, creamy mayo, and a crispy potato. A perfect combination for my meal today. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today we're going to be making chubby little snacks that everyone should learn how to make. And if you stick around towards the end, I'm going to show you how to prepare these for game day. A mini chubby snack and a regular size one. You'll need 3 cups of maseca, 2 to 3 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of taco seasoning, 1 pound of ground beef, and some oil for frying. To your bowl, you want to add your maseca, salt, give that a quick mix, and you want to start by adding 2 cups of water. And you want to start combining all your ingredients. I've combined our ingredients, and as you can see, there's still some dryness. So what you want to do is add 1/2 cup more of water, and you're going to adjust gradually. It's going to depend a lot on your climate, so you just want to combine as you go.
As you can see, there's just a tad bit of dryness at the bottom, hardly anything, and I don't want to go over on my water, so I'm going to start adding 1 tablespoon at a time. I know that seems tedious, but it's definitely worth it. That's going to prevent you from ruining your masa. 2.5 cups of water plus 2 tablespoons is what's going to work for me. Let me know how it went for you and what climate you're in. So once you have hydrated all your masa to how you like it, you want to mix it for a good 30 seconds. Doesn't require that much. Once you fully mix your ingredients, you want to bring it up and make a nice little ball. Now place it back in your bowl, cover it with a plate, and you're going to let this set for 10 to 15 minutes just so that our dough can get nice and hydrated and it's going to be ready for what we need. And in the meantime, we're going to get started on cooking our ground beef. Place your burner on a medium-high heat and drizzle some oil. I'm using olive oil today, and you're going to need about 1 tablespoon. Next, you're going to add your ground beef, and you're going to use your favorite taco seasoning. Kinders, you rock. Start breaking down your ground beef, give it a loving mix, and you're going to continue to cook until you see no pink in your pan. And boom, done. Give or take 8 to 10 minutes. Your ground beef is exactly where it needs to be. And I'm just going to start moving some things around. So when it's time to fry our little chubby snacks, it's a lot easier for me. I'm going to place my burner on a medium-low heat to start warming up our oil. And that's going to make it a lot easier when it's time for us to fry our gorditas. And I'm about to show you a trick that I've been doing to make these gorditas go by a lot faster and look even more perfect than ever. So you're going to need 2 parchment papers, and you're going to place one down. Sprinkle a little bit more maseca. You're going to start pressing your masa down, okay? Just like this. Sprinkle a little bit more maseca on the top. And that's just to prevent extra sticking. You're going to place your parchment paper on the top, and you're going to start rolling. I'm going to smooth it out with my hand. You can take whatever cookie cutter you like, or you can use a cup like I do, and you're going to place it right into your corn flour. And there you go. You have a little chubby snack for your gorditas. And this is the size you want to go with if you're having a sports or a gaming night. But if you're going to be using these as a regular dinner, how you traditionally have them, let me show you how big you want them. And of course, I'm going to use my Asian bowl to make them a lot bigger. And you're just going to come in. And see, you get them a little bit larger. Just perfect. So it's going to be up to you on the size that you want, but what you want to do next is fry them right up. And since this dough is so easy, guess what? You just mold your dough right up again and continue making your gorditas, your chubby little fried snacks. With an uncoated wooden spoon, wooden chopstick, or your toothpicks, you're going to test your oil. And once you see it bubbling, that means that you're ready to fry. If you have smoke coming out of your pan, you better slow your roll. Place that on low, and you might have to wait 20 to 30 minutes until it cools off again and you give it another go. Place your chubby little snack gently into your oil and keep frying for 2.5 to 3 minutes. And while this one cools for about 15 seconds, I'm going to start placing the remaining gorditas into our hot oil. And the same thing, fry 2.5 to 3 minutes and you'll see them float right to the top when they're almost ready. You're going to take a sharp knife and you're going to start slicing right down the middle. This does work best with a plastic knife, but I don't have one. So once you're done doing this, you're going to get a little bit of the masa and you're going to wipe it with your cloth or your paper towel. Beautiful, beautiful gordita. Once you place your knife all the way in like this, just bring it across. Don't pull it out just yet because then it's not going to work out for you.
When you're here, you're going to use your towel to apply pressure, and then you're going to pull it. Be careful not to cut yourself. Right when you're on your last batch of frying your gorditas, you want to turn your burners on. If you have ground beef, beans, rice, just put them on a low so everything can be nice and warm when it's time to fill and serve. To your gordita, you're going to add some refried beans. They can be black or pinto beans. Add your ground beef. For those of you that want to make the gorditas for your sporting events or your game night, you can place your oven at 150 degrees. Assemble your gorditas with the refried beans and the ground beef. Place them into the oven until you're ready to serve. It's not going to over dry them. They're just going to stay nice and warm like you would get at a concession stand. Next, you're going to add your lettuce. And there's something about finely shredded cheddar that makes me so happy when it's laid right on top of some iceberg lettuce. Add your favorite salsa, crema fresca, and boom, done. I'm going to need somebody very special to say ah. I really love the tiny ones. It makes my babies feel special. And these are easy to pack for you. If you have little ones going to school, a little medallion is going to make them happy at lunchtime. Love you, Views Club Junior. You too, parents and adults. All you responsible adults. You guys make me so happy, and I pray for you every single day. So here you have it. A mini chubby snack and a regular size one. It's going to be up to you on how you want to make them, but let me tell you, they are addictive and delicious. And since I love these snacks at any time, it's time for you guys to look away because once I start eating these, I don't stop. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. Today we're making a ground beef stew, so if you have some ground beef and potatoes, this recipe's for you. You'll need 3 potatoes, 2 roasted poblano peppers, 2 cups of chicken broth, and 1 pound of ground beef. To your ground beef, you want to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of oil, half a chopped onion, 2 minced garlic cloves, and combine all your ingredients. And once you're done combining your ingredients, you're going to go ahead and let this set for about 10 minutes just so that all those seasonings and flavors can penetrate our beef right before we cook it. Place your burner on a medium heat and allow your pan to warm up for about a minute to a minute and a half. Next, you're going to add your ground beef. And you want to start breaking down your ground beef. We don't want to keep this into a crumble. We want a few bigger pieces so that way when everybody bites into the beef, they have a little bit of a bigger piece of beef to bite into. Once you break down your beef a little bit, you're going to continue to cook on that side for about 3 minutes. You do not want to touch or move anything. And you have my permission to start mixing after your 3 minutes have elapsed. Don't feel pressured just because I said that, you guys. And when you mix it, you can break it down just a little bit more. You don't want to crumble this. You don't want to make this into chili. You want a few big bites of beef. And for those of you that have party eaters, you know what I'm talking about. They need that bite, you know?
Now I know what you mean.
Now you know what I mean?
I did it before.
We're still on a medium-high heat. Once you mix your loving ingredients, you're going to add your potatoes, your roasted poblano peppers, and if you don't have poblano peppers, guess what? You can use some canned chili. Make it comfortable for your loving home. Your chicken broth. Give that a gentle, loving mix. Once you bring your pot to a boil, that should take you about 4 minutes. You're going to place your temperature on a medium heat, and you're going to continue to cook without a lid for 15 to 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, we have a beautiful beefy potato stew. And my tip to you is going to be that depending on where you live, it might be more humid, a little bit more dry. So you never know after 20 minutes how much of the stew you're going to have left. So if it's too runny and you want it a little bit thicker, I would suggest to continue to cook for 5 to 8 more minutes or until you achieve the stewiness that you love from your stews. I'll be serving today's stew with some whole pinto beans. I roasted some Anaheim peppers. I placed them in there. And if the theme today doesn't seem apparent to you guys, it's roasted peppers. I'll also be including our favorite oregano rice. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say
Buen provecho.
thank you. And just like that, you have a super easy dinner any night of the week. Wow. I will say this, when you see that your family is looking a little bit sad and down, that means that they need a little bit of comfort food, and stews will always bring them a lot of comfort. So let me know what your favorite stew is in the comments. I'd like to focus, but I can't because this is so good. Ooh, when you get some of the combination of your oregano rice with your stew, come back and let me know in the comments what you thought. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today we're going to make a Chinese takeout inspired Mexican fried rice. And most of our families always have some Mexican rice left over, so you're going to need about 3 to 4 cups.
1 cup of peas,
2 carrots,
1 cup of corn,
2 eggs, 1 roasted Anaheim pepper, 1 green onion, half an onion, 4 garlic cloves, oil, 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth, half a tablespoon of Maggi seasoning, 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. Give that a loving mix, and some chicken. You're going to start by adding half a teaspoon of pepper to your chicken, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Give that a good mix until all your chicken is coated with your seasonings. Once you coat all your chicken, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and you're going to give it another loving mix. Once your chicken is fully coated with seasonings, you're going to go ahead and let it set there for 10 to 15 minutes. And look at that delicious juicy chicken. Place your burner on a medium-high heat and drizzle about 1 tablespoon of oil. Give that about 30 seconds to warm up. We want our oil to be nice and hot before we add our eggs. And in the meantime, you want to make sure to start beating your eggs. And just keep mixing. We do not want our eggs to burn. And surprisingly, when you add enough oil and you cook these quickly, your house is not going to smell like burnt eggs, and I'm okay with that. Once your eggs are cooked, you're going to place them onto another plate. And since you don't want any burnt egg smell to your rice, you want to clean it immediately. And we're back. Add another tablespoon of oil and allow it to warm up for 30 to 45 seconds. And special shout out to my sister. You know, I've moved a lot of times. I've gone through a lot just like anybody else, but I didn't have my wok, and my sister was nice enough to give me one of these over the holiday, so I'm happy to be walking it out again. Thanks, Cloud.
You're welcome. I've been known to buy woks for those that I love.
Oh, you're such a sweetie. And we love you for it. Once your oil is nice and hot, you're going to add your chicken. You want to give that a loving mix and continue till your chicken is fully cooked. That shouldn't take you more than about 2 minutes. We're working with tenderloin, and that's cooked super easy. So if you have chicken breast, it's about the same. And once your chicken is cooked, the same thing. You're going to place it on the same plate as your eggs. And look at that delicious juicy chicken. Cloud already took a piece, so you guys are going to have to wait to the taste test. I cleaned up my wok, and I'm going to add a little bit more oil and bring it up to temperature. If you guys decide to buy this wok, I love it because it comes with a little loofah that makes it easy for you to scrub any little sticky things to your wok. Once you bring your wok up to temperature again, you're going to add your onions, carrots, and you want to cook them for about 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you're going to add your garlic. Mix that up beautifully, just like you've used, Club. Next, you're going to add your beautiful corn peas. And remember, if your family doesn't like any of these veggies, you can keep them out and make it comfortable for your home. Your roasted Anaheim pepper. I'm going to drizzle a little bit more oil because we're going to be adding our rice. Give that a loving mix. Once you combine your ingredients, you're going to add your chicken and your egg. And this is where I like to start breaking down the egg. Keeps it nice and fun in the kitchen for me. Once you've combined all your ingredients, you're going to add your chicken broth mixture. And boom, done. Our rice is ready.
So you want to go ahead and turn off your burner. You're going to add your green onion and a sprinkle of cilantro. And my kids are just like anybody else's. If it doesn't look like the restaurant style, they don't want to eat it. And since we're not ordering out at the moment, these little takeout containers are just perfect. Just make sure not to microwave them because they do have a little metal unless you have the different ones. But this portion is just perfect to make it super special for them for a snack or for a little quick meal. And they're perfect to pack for the kids for lunch, for your husband, or for yourself if you're running errands. And I hope you enjoy my take on Chinese takeout with a Mexican flair. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say
And I hope you like this recipe as much as my family does. This is a recipe we say in Spanish, sacapuros. It gets you out of a bind when you're rushing or you don't have that much time to cook. This will get the job done. Absolutely delicious. I hope you have a fun and relaxing weekend. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll see you guys very, very soon. Look away. Walk it out. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host, Steph, and I want to wish you all a happy new year. And what better way to start the new year than a new way to enjoy your enchiladas? For this delicious recipe, you'll need 1 pack of chicken thighs, 8 guajillo chiles, 4 cups of water, melty cheese, 8 ounces of chorizo, 4 tomatoes, 1 onion, 4 chipotles in adobo sauce, corn tortillas, 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 4 garlic cloves, 2 small bay leaves, and our Views Club suggested ingredient is piloncillo. If you don't have access to piloncillo, you can use brown sugar or some molasses, but you're gonna need 1 tablespoon of piloncillo. And you might ask yourself, how am I gonna get 1 tablespoon of piloncillo? Just, cut the tip off, and then it's only gonna be a little piece that you're gonna need. I'm cutting time, not flavor, by using my Instant Pot today. So go ahead and add your chicken into your Instant Pot. And if you're not using thighs, use your whole chicken. You can't find either, make it comfortable for your home.
And that translates to use with whatever's on hand.
That is correct. Last time I was asking for thighs at the grocery store, they only had legs, so I had to make my chicken recipe with legs. Add your water, chicken bouillon, bay leaves, your guajillo chilies, make sure to remove the stems and the seeds. Garlic, your juicy tomatoes, place the lid, seal the deal, pressure cook for 35 minutes. And we are gonna be doing a quick release. I have about 10 minutes left on my Instant Pot. I placed my burner on a medium heat. I used olive oil so that we can start cooking our chorizo. And you're gonna continue to cook your chorizo for another 6 to 8 minutes. Next, you're gonna add your onions, and I sliced them thinly, and they're gonna cook quickly, so we're gonna cook our onions for 4 minutes. Make sure to combine your onions into all of that chorizo seasoning. Ooh, I'm so excited and I'm so hungry. And when we finish cooking, we're gonna start warming up our tortillas. I'm gonna get them a little bit drier than normal. They have a lot of moisture, and for some reason, my corn tortillas are a lot smaller now. Let me know if you're experiencing the same wherever you're located. I just released the pressure from our Instant Pot. Go ahead and turn your burner off, and now it's time to blend. Yummy, yummy, it smells so good. The ingredients that we're gonna be blending is our tomatoes, and if you happen to scoop up the garlic, toss it right on in. We're also gonna be taking our chiles. Cloud was having a moment. It smells really, really good that you can just have this broth and the chicken right out of the pot. But I'm gonna need you to save some. Save 3 cups to add to your blender.
I was so excited I was recording without recording.
Thanks, Cloud, for all that you do, sis. I love you.
I love you too. It smells amazing in here.
Oh my goodness, it's divine. I'm really, really hungry, so this is not too easy for me to do. And now I'm gonna take our chicken, and then Cloud's gonna shred it for me. And when my sister Cloud shreds chicken, it just tastes so much better.
They call me Master Shredder in the streets.
We just taste the broth, and let me tell you, it's amazing. Save the rest for a fideo or even for your guisado. You will not regret it. To your blender, you wanna add your cumin, black pepper, your piloncillo, also known as panocha, and your chipotles in adobo sauce. And now we're gonna blend until smooth. And boom, done. Time to add this to our pot. Give that a loving mix, and all you wanna do is just combine all your ingredients. And since we don't need to cook our sauce, it's gonna continue baking in the oven, you're gonna go ahead and add your chicken. And you wanna give your chicken a loving mix into this beautiful sauce. Oh my goodness, some of you are not gonna be able to resist and are just gonna end up eating it like this. I'm gonna take some of our luxurious sauce and I'm gonna place it at the bottom of our baking dish. Take some of your filling and place it into your corn tortilla. Sprinkle a little cheese. Give that a gentle roll and place it into your baking dish. And I'm just going to continue doing the same with the remaining corn tortillas, or as many will fit into our baking dish. And once you're done filling your enchiladas, you're going to take your sauce with all of the ingredients and you're just going to layer it over the top. Chicken and all. You have hearty eaters, they're going to give you those googly I love you eyes. I have a mixture of medium cheddar cheese and queso chihuahua, and this is just gonna amplify the flavor of our beautiful enchiladas. My oven has been getting really hot lately, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the foil over our baking dish. I'm gonna continue to bake at 380 degrees for 20 minutes. After 15 minutes, you wanna remove the foil and continue baking for the remaining 5. Add a little bit of lettuce, some queso fresco, pickled purple onions, and some crema fresca. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say
Buen provecho.
Thank you. Absolutely delicious. Make sure you eat these right when they come out of the oven. It's okay if they're burning hot, just blow on it. It's gonna be worth it because once it hits your tummy, it's nice, ooey gooey, and warm. And my tip to you is gonna be get some good tortillas that can hold the sauce. If not, you're gonna end up with a little bit of mushiness, but not to worry, it tastes just as delicious. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host, Steph, and today I'm gonna show you how to perfect your empanadas. Some of you like them fried, some of you like them baked. Not to worry, I have a lot of tips to share with you to keep them nice and flaky. Let's start by adding 4 cups of all-purpose flour into our stand mixer. And set it to the side because you're going to need a little bit more flour for dusting. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar. I know you guys saw me blushing with the sugar, but I've been taking it easy on it. Go ahead and mix your ingredients a little bit before you add your cold butter. Once we start mixing, I'm going to start adding the remaining butter. But if you want a really good combination, you can use half shortening and half butter, and this will taste equally as good. Now with your whisk attachment, you're going to start combining your ingredients. You do not want to go over a 4. We want to keep our butter nice and cold with our flour combination, and that's going to give us a super flaky empanada. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Once you see that your butter is combining well into your flour, you're going to start dropping the rest of your butter right into your mixer. You're making me blush, Carl. This looks so good already. For those of you in cold climate like myself, you get your kitchen that gets really, really cold, that sometimes even with your mixer, it doesn't combine. So what you can do is you can use your strong hands, come give it a nice squeeze, and then you're going to continue mixing. After you're done combining, it should take you about 4 minutes. You should get a nice, well-incorporated flour. Make a little well in the middle. And we're going to start by adding 1 cup of water. The water is cold, and I keep it cold by adding a few ice cubes. Now we're going to start mixing until everything's well incorporated. What I like to do is I like to add half a cup of water at a time. I'll mix for about 30 seconds and then I check on how the dough's mixing, and if it needs a little bit more water, then I'll gradually add my half cup of water and continue mixing. And boom, done. After about 4 minutes of mixing, your dough is exactly where you need it to be. So what I like to do is I like to knead it a few times on the counter just to form a nice soft ball. Once you seal your dough and there's no moisture going to get in here, you want to place it in your refrigerator for a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes. This dough has to be cold in order to get a perfect empanada.
And for our filling, you're just going to need to place your burner on a medium heat and drizzle a little bit of oil. You're going to add half a chopped onion and 2 garlic cloves. Give that a loving mix and continue to cook for 2 more minutes. Next, you're going to add your ground beef, black pepper, chicken bouillon, and start breaking up your ground beef and giving it a loving mix. And continue to cook until you don't see any pink in your ground beef. Once you fully cook your beef, you're going to add your roasted Anaheim pepper. If you don't have Anaheim pepper, you can make it comfortable for your home by using canned green chili or roasted poblano pepper. I strained most of the water out of our potatoes and I have half a cup of water, and that's what you're going to add into your pot. Give that a loving mix and continue to cook on a medium heat for about 13 minutes. Our filling is just about ready. We're going to start filling our dough, and before I do that, I'm going to start warming up our oil for our fried empanadas. Dust your counter with some flour and start unwrapping your present. And now we're going to start rolling out our dough into a thin sheet. My rolling pin is so cold. I kept this dough in my refrigerator for 1 hour. The longer, the better. Even if you make this and leave it overnight, you're going to be happy with the results. But those of you rushing, trying to get your empanadas done, minimum of 20 to 30 minutes. And once you've rolled your dough into a thin sheet like this, it's time to start using a cookie cutter, a bowl, just anything that's in a circular motion that's going to help you get the round little disc that we need. And just continue until you run out of dough. And with the remaining dough, you're just gonna crumble it up, make it into a nice little ball. And while I'm preparing the empanadas, I like to keep this set in the refrigerator to keep it nice and cold, because that's what really makes the difference in the flakiness and the crisp. So I'll just wrap this back up, place it in the refrigerator, and now we're gonna get started on our filling. Take your disc and give it a gentle roll. You don't wanna go too much because then your empanada is gonna tear. Place it in your hand and add your desired amount of filling. I feel like 2 tablespoons work great. And start sealing your edges. Give that a good press. And when you're sealing your masa, you don't want to give it too much of a stretch, because then you're going to stretch your dough and it's just going to be too doughy at the edges. And start pinching. Turn it over. Looks like a beautiful braid. And now you're just gonna set it aside while we continue with the remaining empanadas. And you're gonna feel like, oh, it doesn't look like an empanada. Not to worry. Once you fry it up, you're gonna be like, oh, there's my empanada. When you're done molding your empanadas, you're gonna place them in the refrigerator for 10 to 15 minutes until your dough gets cold again. You can also place them in your freezer if you have some time for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then we're going to start frying. Now when you're going to bake the empanadas, you're going to get an egg. You're going to add a little bit of water and just start beating your egg. I just took these empanadas out of the refrigerator, and now you just want to give it a nice egg wash. In order to bake perfect empanadas, you want to set your oven at 425 degrees. You're going to bake for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you're going to lower your temperature to 350 degrees and continue baking for 35 minutes. You want to make sure that your oil is scorching hot. You're going to use an uncoated wooden spoon, chopstick, or toothpick. And once you see a vigorous bubble, that means that you're ready to fry. And this vigorous bubbling starts happening right before your pan gets some smoke on it. So move quickly. In order to maintain the good heat in our oil, I'm only going to fry 3 at a time. For those of you frying at home using a little bit less oil, make sure that you cover all your empanadas so that you can get that flaky bubble on the outer parts. And you're going to continue to fry for 3.5 to 4 minutes. And boom, done. Our empanadas are ready. Ooh, fried to perfection. You're going to want to add some guacamole, salsa. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say ah. It's baked to perfection. Mmm.
I mean, who doesn't love a soft, flaky empanada? These are absolutely delicious. They're gonna be perfect every time. And the dough is seasoned to perfection. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as our family does. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make some street food tacos right in your oven. I have a rack of beef back ribs, but you can use short ribs, or even if you have your pork ribs, go ahead and use them as well. You want to dry your ribs really good with a paper towel. That way our seasoning can adhere to it and just stick to produce a delicious flavor. Using my paper towel so my fingers aren't so slippery, I'm going to remove the membrane from the back of the rib. Add 1 tablespoon of chili powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Combine your seasonings in a bowl, and you're going to rub it all over your rack of ribs. And to make sure that every single rib has an evenly coated flavor, we're going to slice our ribs individually. And you want to make sure to fully coat all of the sides of your ribs. Once you coat all your ribs, you're going to align them in your baking sheet. Bake at 400 degrees for 1 hour. For the delicious salsa negra, you're going to need 6 tomatillos, 4 tomatoes, 4 garlics, 2, you can use jalapeno or serrano peppers. It's going to be up to you and the spice level that you like. 1 small purple onion, 1 medium onion, 2 Anaheim peppers, and 4 pasilla chiles. Before we start roasting our salsa, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil over the top of all our ingredients. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take the stems off of our chili peppers. And now you're going to place all your salsa ingredients in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and we're still at 400 degrees. And now we're going to toast our pasilla chilies right on the stovetop. Once your chiles puff up, you're going to set them to the side right next to your pan in a plate. You're going to remove the stem and the seeds from your chiles. Next, you're going to add some warm water to your bowl, and you're going to soak the chiles until they're nice and soft. Our salsa ingredients have been in the oven for 30 minutes, and now it's a perfect time for us to switch our temperature to 280 degrees. We're going to continue to cook our ribs for another 3 hours while we blend our salsa. Start placing all your salsa ingredients in your blender. Along with the pasilla chiles that we soaked in hot water. Add 1 tablespoon of salt. And now you want to blend until smooth. Oh yeah! And boom, done. We have salsa for days, everybody! Add the juice of 1 big lime, chop cilantro and onions. Give that a loving mix, and try not to eat this, you know, while you're waiting for your ribs to be cooked, because it's that good and you're gonna need some for your tacos. When you have 1 hour left of your baking time, you want to remove the foil to develop a delicious crust on your beef ribs. And boom, done. Our ribs are ready. They're pretty much fall off the bone. Look at that. Just tear it off. Careful because they're hot. Nice, juicy, and tender. Yummy. And I really love how juicy beef ribs are. Look at that. Tender, juicy pieces of beef and absolutely delicious. I'm so excited for you to try these tacos because they're super easy to make and full of flavor. You can serve your beef rib tacos as they are like this, or you can start chopping them up into smaller pieces. And when you're working with ribs, you're better off just chopping them up so that you have enough for your whole family. I'm so excited for you to try these delicious tacos. With just a few ingredients, you make some amazing Mexican street style tacos right in your oven. Squeeze a little lime juice. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say When you have a soft tortilla and your beef is juicy and tender, you know you're in the danger zone with some delicious street tacos. One of the things I am going to say to you, if you want a super spicy salsa, go ahead and look in the description area because I'm going to tell you what chiles to add to your salsa to get you sniffling and wanting more. Absolutely delicious. If you have a large family, use 2 racks of ribs and then come back and let me know what everybody said. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you a recipe that my kids keep asking me to make. And if you love fried quesadillas and you love hot dogs, you're going to love this recipe. Now for those of you that don't want to mess with the masa, don't skip because I have a tip for you.
Now let's get this recipe on the road. You'll need 3 cups of maseca, 3 cups of water, 1 pack of hot dogs, desired amount of bacon, 1 cup of corn, desired amount of cheese, half a tablespoon of salt, and oil for frying. To a large bowl, you want to add your maseca, salt, combine your ingredients, and then make a well. Once you make that well, go ahead and gradually add your water, and we're just going to keep combining until we have our dough nice and hydrated. Some of you might look in the ingredients and say, I'm just going to put the whole 3 cups of water, and I'm going to say don't. The reason for that is some of you might need a little bit less, some of you might need a little bit more. It depends on your climate. So just gradually add until you fully hydrate your masa. Once you fully hydrate your masa, you're going to pick it up and make a big ball, okay? You're going to feel that it's nice and soft to the touch and it's fully hydrated. Once you do that, you're going to place it back into your bowl and you're going to let this rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. Take your hot dog and slice it right down the middle. And I'm going to continue to do the same with the remaining hot dogs. And next, you just want to wrap your bacon around your hot dog. And I'm going to continue to do the same with the remaining hot dogs. And once you're done wrapping your hot dogs with your bacon, go ahead and set your burner on a medium heat because it's time to cook them. Continue to cook your hot dogs for about 4 to 6 minutes until you see that your bacon is nice and crispy. And boom, done. Our hot dogs are ready. Try to resist not eating these, okay?
I'm resisting. I need some grainy mustard and we're good to go.
All right, I'm going to continue with the remaining hot dogs and I'll meet you guys when it's time to make our little tortillas. Take a little ball of masa. I guess that's not so little. A little bit more than you would for a corn tortilla because we want it a little bit thicker. Since I have a very bad tortilla press, and but I mean bad, I mean it needs to go in a timeout, I like to flatten it up into a disc just like this.
It needs a tune-up, but we've tried and it's not taking the tune-up.
It's not. Let us know if you have any recommendations for a good tortilla press. We would love you for that. I think I'm up to my 3rd tortilla press and it doesn't work. Oh, that's a beautiful size.
Right.
Next, you're going to add your desired amount of cheese, and I like to squeeze it into a little ball. That way it doesn't flake everywhere. But if you don't want to deal with shredded cheese, go ahead and use your string cheese.
Tell our friends what you really said.
I said a cheese stick because I'm a casserole mom. Oopsie.
Reminds me of the cheese touch.
No. Don't listen to her, you guys. Go ahead and add your desired amount of corn. Fritters with corn, hot dog. The kids love this. Go ahead and squeeze that together. And I always find that it's easier to press it with your little plastic bag, which I don't know where mine is, or a little parchment paper. It works. Once you're done, you can cup it just like this and get that final press on the end.
And Views Club Junior, if you know where the cheese touch is from, have your parents comment and let us know that you know. You think Steffi has the cheese touch?
I do not. You guys don't listen to her today. Okay, and I'm going to continue with the remaining quesadillas. So hang tight. In this bowl, we have our tortilla glue, which I've shown you how to make in a lot of videos. All this is all-purpose flour, and you add your water gradually until you get a thick paste, just like this.
Brought to you by the Views Club.
The Views Club shared this with me. It's not my recipe, but thank you. I only used this when I used to make piñatas.
That's right.
To your pre-warmed corn tortilla, you're gonna swipe it with some of our tortilla glue. Add your desired amount of cheese, corn, and you want to set this to the side until this gets tacky. It should take you about a minute. So what I like to do is I like to line them up in 5, swipe it, and then by the time I get to my last one and fill it up, it's already tacky enough for me to close. So hang tight while we get tacky for once in our life. Okay, so you kind of get the picture. I'm going to set this to the side and we have to start frying. And now it's time to check our oil for frying. Once you see those bubbles just like this, it means that you're ready to go. If you have a lot of smoke coming out of your pan, you need to take it down a notch, okay? I want you to wait 15 to 20 minutes before you fry and then try this method again.
And for our Views Club veterans, we know we've gone over this with you, but we have a lot of new friends here.
So make sure you're using a wooden spoon, a wooden chopstick, toothpicks, just anything wood that's not coated. Now you're gonna gently place your quesadilla down here and you're gonna push out that way, okay?
Lay it down south to north.
Okay. You're making fun of me today?
You know what song's in my head right now when I say.
No, don't start. Don't start. The kids are out for summer, so more of the children are watching.
They don't appreciate our 90s music sometimes.
Because it was a little bit extreme. Okay, I'm going to continue to fry our quesadilla about 1.5 minutes on each side, and you want to fry until they're nice and crispy, okay? You know what I love about this recipe? That you're not breaking the bank.
That's right. Is it safe to say this is like a $1 lunch per meal if you break
If you break everything down, this recipe is less than $1 per quesadilla.
Nice.
We like that. Oh, mine are pretty crispy here. And I do want to share a tip with you. If you're going to take the easy way out, and that's okay, no judgment on my part to you. These will fry up in less than a minute if your oil is nice and hot, okay? You want to be careful, but you want to slice right down the middle like this. You're going to open it up just like that. You're going to place your weenie right in. Now who's ready for a big bite? Oh, it's hot. And you're all set. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say And to make it easier, we're gonna be using pato sauce, but you can use any kind of salsa or hot sauce that you would like.
Buen provecho.
Thank you. I really love this recipe because it's easy for me to make, but just a little touch of corn inside your quesadilla is going to really transform this dish. It makes a huge difference.
Gosh, I love it when my mom makes these are my favorite.
These are your favorite? I put a little mustard for you already.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're
I haven't
excited.
tried these in a while.
I know, you guys been asking me to make them, so I'm glad that you're happy.
I still taste like magnificent.
Magnificent. Enjoy, babe. Take your desired amount of whipped cream. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host, Steph, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make sweeties. This is a recipe that I created when my kids kept asking me for a sweet treat, and I'm like, okay, I just have a few ingredients here. What am I gonna make? So today I'm gonna show you exactly what I made, and my kids ask me for this all the time, and I don't mind making them because they're so easy to make. This one's for all you naughty friends out there. You guys get the Grinch one.
For this delicious recipe, you'll need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1.5 cups of milk, vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, strawberries or your choice of fruit, and some oil for frying.
Let's start by adding 3 cups of flour to our mixing bowl. Baking powder.
She said it right.
Oh my god. You guys, give me the clapping emoji for this one. I said it right today. Add your salt, sugar. With your whisk attachment, you're going to go ahead and combine all your ingredients. Once you've successfully combined your ingredients, you're going to start adding your butter. All the ingredients that we're using today are room temperature. And now we're just going to mix until our butter is well incorporated into our flour. Add your vanilla to your milk, and for those of you that want to change the color to this recipe, you can add your food coloring to the milk and then add it into the mixing bowl, and you can change it depending on the season. I'm going to remove the whisk and I'm going to attach the hook. For those of you that can't consume milk, not to worry, this recipe tastes great with water as well. I'm going to add our milk mixture. I'm going to start mixing our ingredients until everything's well combined, and that should take you anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And once your dough is nice and soft, you're going to remove it from your hook. Make it into a nice little ball. You can use a different bowl or you can use your mixing bowl. I'm going to cover it with a damp kitchen cloth for 15 to 20 minutes. And here I've already mixed a Grinch themed dough. And to get this green color, I pretty much needed a little bit more than half of the little bottle. But it's nice and soft. It's been resting for 20 minutes. And now it's time for us to roll out our dough. Have a busy house today. As you can see, this dough is super easy to move around if you need to. And to cut out each piece, I'm going to use a small tart mold, and I really like it because it gives me beautiful ridges once we fry them. And just like that, we have our little puffs ready to fry. And treat the dough like you would any kind of pie. Just mold it back up, roll it up, and continue to cut your pieces. With an uncoated wooden spoon, wooden chopstick, or your toothpicks, you're going to place it into your oil. Once you see that it's bubbling around your spoon, you're going to go ahead and say, hey, we're ready to fry. But if you see smoke coming out of your pan, that means it's too hot, and you're going to have to wait 15 to 20 minutes to cool it off. You're going to place your sweetie into the oil. Don't get too brave. Be careful. You don't want to burn yourself. It's hot in there. And we're going to fry them 1.5 minutes on each side. So anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, you should have a perfectly fried sweetie.
You're like a quiet hyper person. Did you know that?
Quiet hyper? Yeah.
Like you're quiet, but like there's a lot of mechanics going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, interesting.
You know, another reason why I love to make these, Cloud, is because when you're ready to flip, you'll see it puff up all the way. You see that? This one's just slightly getting there, but they're all going to be ready.
That's good too. Looks like a Ninja Turtle shell.
Yep, for those of you having your Ninja Turtle birthday parties, here you go. Or in my case, my son's been obsessed with the Grinch this year, so that's why I'm making these in green.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So once that other side got a good fry, about 30-45 seconds, I give it another flip and let it fry on that side for another 30 to 45 seconds. So like I said, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, you have a perfectly fried sweetie. Now you're going to take your sweetie with a nice sharp knife and you're going to cut along the side like this. Ooh, delicious. And for them to keep their form and shape, you can use a paper towel or you can use these little wax papers that I have. It's not necessary, but for me, it just gives me an extra assurance when it's time to fill them. And I'll be able to fit 3 into this little big pot. It really is little and big. Most of the time your sweeties are going to fluff up this way, and that's going to be time for you to go ahead and flip them to the other side. If your oil is really hot, you're going to notice that they're going to get a little bit more golden, and if it's just at the right temperature, they're going to be a lighter golden color. Either way, they're going to be equally as delicious. These have been sitting here for a good 2 to 3 minutes. So now we're going to go ahead and slice them with a nice sharp knife. Okay, they smell so good. So I'm going to use a wax paper. You can use a paper towel, just anything to keep them open and allow that steam to release. I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to do the same with the remaining little sweeties. And beware, because this is going to get your neighbors to come knock at your door and ask you, what smells so sweet and delicious? And then you can just hand them over a little sweetie. So yummy.
You're very sweet to your neighbor.
You know, be good to thy neighbor, they say. And that's what I'm working on. Before we fill our sweeties, we're going to slice our strawberries. And you can make this with whatever fruit you have on hand. You can use kiwis, banana, believe it or not, orange, and I'm going to say it, peaches. Sorry, Cloud. She's going through withdrawals of Palisade peaches, you guys. I like to use the party-sized cups of ice cream because it's just easy for me to scoop it out. Just boom, done. Now place your ice cream inside your sweetie. Take your desired amount of whipped cream. And you're going to add your slices of fresh strawberries to the side. And when you're done, you want to give it a little dusting of powdered sugar. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? And guess what? You can freeze them. Place them into a little wax paper like this. You can find these in the same area where you find your Ziploc bags. And you can freeze them like an ice cream sandwich. And boom, done. Dessert for any occasion. And now I'm going to assemble our Grinch looking sweetie. This one's for all you naughty friends out there. You guys get the Grinch one.
Guess that's mine.
This is this is for you, Cloud.
Thank you.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. She was out past 10 last night, you guys.
Not it.
Now I'm gonna need somebody on the naughty list to say Advance notice, look away because it's gonna get messy for me and very dangerous because these are so good. But I hope you guys enjoy these as much as we do. Wow. The fried sweetness is out of this world. It's like biting into what you would imagine a cloud to be, or cotton candy soft. That's how this is. It's super light, so you're warned.
A sweetie for a sweetie. You have cream on the side of your lip.
Okay. Estoy comiendo.
Let it happen.
Friends, I think I've reached an age where all I want to do is eat sweets with my breakfast and after my dinner, but it's intense. It's worse than when I was a kid. As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you. We hope you enjoyed today's sweet dessert. And on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adios. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a refreshing recipe that I love to make when it's hot outside or when I'm short for time. So if you guys love shredded beef, you're going to absolutely love this salpicón recipe, because I'm going to also be showing you how to make a delicious vinaigrette that's going to help you for your salads throughout the week. Let's start off by adding 3 cups of water to the Instant Pot. Next, you want to add 2 to 3 pounds of beef, and you want to make sure to cut it into smaller pieces. Half an onion, 2 garlic cloves, 1 bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of thyme. Pressure cook your beef for 25 minutes. Now let's go over the remaining ingredients. Lettuce, avocado, chiles en escabeche, half an onion, 2 tomatoes, a small bunch of cilantro, flour tortillas. I thinly sliced half an onion, and now I'm going to be adding 1/4 of a cup of our pickled jalapeno juice. And remember, we're going to be using some of this pickled jalapeno juice for our vinaigrette. For your vinaigrette, you'll need half a cup of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of pickled jalapeno juice, the juice of 1 key lime, half a teaspoon of paprika, ground cumin, black pepper, salt, and 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. And next, you're just going to quickly combine your vinaigrette ingredients. To your frying oil, you want to place your tortilla halfway into it, okay? But if you want it to really bubble up, you can dip your whole tortilla in at once. But that's not what we're going for.
I know the teenagers get mad at us with our safety tips, but here it comes.
Okay, when you're splashing yourself, make sure that this part of the tortilla is lifted and not empty, because you can end up splashing yourself and your feet, and we don't want that. We want to keep you safe this summer.
You want to splash the tortilla and not yourself.
That is correct.
How do we know? Been there, done that. And it's not fun.
There we go. And if you see, I just gave it a slight little press to give it a little bit of a dimension. And now we're going to splash with the barrier from our tortilla so we can fully cook this bottom half. Okay? And this can be done right here in about 45 seconds. Make sure your oil's not too hot. Mine was a little smoky, but we're managing. And I'm going to continue frying the remaining tortillas for our delicious salad. And remember to save your beef broth for your sopitas de fideo, or anything where you just need a little bit of broth, because it has so much flavor. And for your beef, you just want to thinly shred it, okay? The same way that Cloud shreds her chicken, and she's going to come and help in just a moment, that's exactly how you want to shred it, just tiny little bite sizes. If you happen to have a cut that has some fat attached to it, go ahead and remove it for this particular recipe, unless you know somebody wants to bite into it. But for the most part, just go ahead and remove it. And now it's time to assemble our salad. So go ahead and place your desired amount of greens. This next part is optional. You can use queso fresco, you can use cotija, or your favorite style of cheese. And you just need a little bit, not a lot. Don't push it. If you're packing this for a lunch, don't add your vinaigrette until you're ready to eat because it's gonna get your lettuce way too soggy and we don't want that. But since we're gonna eat this now, we're just gonna pour it all in. And now, just gently combine all your ingredients. Ooh, it smells so good.
It really does.
And boom, done. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say ah. That is so fresh and flavorful. Sorry, I need both of my hands, but one's being used. What I really love about this recipe is how easy it is and how satiating it is. The vinaigrette is super light and it's gonna be the only vinaigrette you need for the whole summer. I tend to keep this one in a bottle during the summer actually. So I hope you guys really enjoy this recipe because it's absolutely delicious. That's so good. If you love nachos, you're gonna love this recipe because this is more like healthy nachos and you don't wanna miss out. If you don't have a flour tortilla, you can use your tostadas. And if you don't want to deal with cooking the beef and shredding it, go ahead and get a rotisserie chicken. It's going to work equally as delicious. Hello and welcome back to Views on the Road. I hope y'all are having a great evening. I'm your host, Steph, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make creamy enchiladas rojas. This is a super easy recipe. Now let's go over the ingredients. Well, you can't have enchiladas without some delicious corn tortillas, and you're gonna need 12 to 14 corn tortillas. 1 pound of Chihuahua melty cheese. For your enchilada sauce today, you're gonna need 8 soaked guajillo chilies. Make sure to remove the stems and the seeds. 15 ounces of Mexican crema, or you can substitute it with some sour cream. Half a cup of heavy whipping cream, or you can substitute it with some half and half. For those of you that love spice, I suggest you use 3 chiles de árbol. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, and 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. For your seasoned beef, you're gonna need 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And to season our ground beef, I have half a chopped onion, 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of tomato chicken bouillon. To your pan, you want to add your onion and your garlic and continue to cook for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you're going to add your ground beef and start breaking down your beef. Now you want to add your seasoning, and if you don't want to use this seasoning, you can use your taco seasoning for this. Ooh, I know that makes somebody happy.
Your taco seasoning recipe is excellent.
It really is. I've received a lot of compliments on it, so I'm glad it's working for you guys. We're cooking on a medium heat now. We're going to continue to cook until you see that there is no pink in your ground beef. And while that's going on, I'm going to start warming up our tortillas. You can warm up your tortillas in the microwave, but if I have the capabilities of warming them up on a pan, I do. This is going to make our tortillas nice and pliable when it's time to roll our enchiladas, and any excess moisture gets removed. Another thing I wanted to share with you is if you have hearty eaters at home that are complaining that there's not enough protein, you know who I'm talking about. Esos hombres barrigones deliciosos. That's who I'm talking about. Don't crumble it up too much so that when they bite their enchilada, they get a big beefy bite. And today, I'm feeling like a mujer barrigona. Saludos. Go ahead and turn your burner off because our ground beef is full of itself. It's full of flavor and fully cooked. And now that we have all of this set, it's time to go get started on our sauce. To your blender, you want to add your chiles. I also soaked our chiles de árbol. Super, super delicious. Don't look at me like that. I know we had this sauce last week, but talk to Cloud about it. She's obsessed with it. You can really mix it with any kind of Mexican crema. It doesn't have to be the sour cream. And if you don't have anything, you can use half and half or fully use your heavy whipping cream. Add your heavy whipping cream, chicken bouillon. Going heavy on the Mexican oregano today because it's good for your health and your lungs. Hey. ground cumin, and if you're gonna cry about it, skip it. I don't want you complaining. Just skip it. You don't need it. But if you love it, go ahead and add it. Garlic powder. You're gonna add about 1/4 of a cup of your chili water. And now we're gonna blend until smooth. And boom, done. Come take a look at the consistency. That's the consistency we're looking for. Pour a little bit of sauce at the bottom of your baking dish.
Hey, save that spoon for me.
This spoon? You're gonna lick it? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you noticed, one of our most popular enchilada videos is me assembling the enchiladas. You really have to set yourself up to make it an easy process and easier for you to clean up too.
That drawer behind you is open too.
Which one? Everything's open today. See, set yourself up. Take your tortilla, add a little bit of Cloud's favorite sauce, desired amount of ground beef, and cheese it up. Don't be shy. Son enchiladas. And that's simple. You have your enchiladas ready. I'm going to continue with the remaining enchiladas. Hang tight. Was that enough sauce for you?
It was perfect.
Don't worry, listen to her. She has something to tell you.
This is your Tia Cloud, and you want to preheat your oven at 380 degrees Fahrenheit.
Once you roll up your enchiladas, you're going to add your sauce. Make sure to cover all your edges because that's what dries out first.
Whoa, this is the first time I ever see any stain anywhere while you're making enchiladas. Right there.
That's okay. I'm getting old, Cloud. I'm getting old. Somebody's asking me if I'm pregnant. No, I'm not. Don't start spreading rumors. I just eat a lot. Go ahead and place your cheese right on the top. And now you want to bake your creamy enchiladas rojas at 380 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Once you see your cheese bubbling and melty, that means it's time for you to take it out. And for those of you that don't have a baking dish, that's okay. You can use your baking sheet and this works great. You just use a little bit less sauce, but you can still get the job done. I know those new homemakers, or if you just moved out on your own, you don't have access to a lot of things that you end up accumulating over the years. So don't feel limited. You got this. And boom, done. Our enchiladas are ready. Something about that bubbling just makes me so happy. Who's ready for a cheesy bite? And I'm going to pair these delicious enchiladas with some refried beans. I'll leave recipes for the refried beans and also for our rice. I'm using, oh, I went heavy on the beans today. I'm using the rice recipe that I showed you how to make on the casserole, and I'll link that in the description area as well. Or you can click on it here at the end. We're almost done. Let me show you how I like to enjoy these enchiladas. Take some of your extra sauce and just place it right here at the edge. A little bit of lettuce, sour cream. Don't look at me like that. It's an American thing and it just works. Promise you. I've been eating very spicy, so you can't miss out on some chiltepines. That is red gold. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say, well, Cloud can't focus because it's this sauce that's her absolute favorite, so please forgive her. Now you're thinking, now you're back, and welcome back. This is for Cloud, you guys.
I can't hold this camera much longer.
¿Te gustó? Qué rico.
Oh, girl, thank you.
And boom, done. We have some large tortillas for your burritos. Foldable. They're not going to crack. Hello and welcome welcome back to Views on the Road. I'm your host Steph, and today I'm going to show you how to make burrito-sized tortillas. If you've never seen a huge cast iron, you're going to be wowed today because I'm about to show you the cast iron you're going to need to make these big tortillas. Traditionally, we use a round comal that has a dome on top, which I do have, but it would be useless for me to make this for you guys and you guys don't get to use it at home. So I found something that's equally as good. It's super large. It's about 20 inches in diameter. And friends, Cloud is going to link this one in the description area. If you want to make big burrito-sized tortillas and you're a dedicated tortilla maker, you're going to absolutely love this one. It fits right on my stovetop, so let me show you. So in order to heat this big cast iron for our tortillas, I'm going to use these 3 burners. If for some reason you don't have the middle burner, that's okay. You'll be able to do it with both of the burners, but let me show you how I'm going to set it up.
There's a pea that got left behind in the
The peas?
for my breakfast.
We eat peas, everybody, and it's okay. So this is how I'm going to have it set up, nice and hot and ready for us to use in our home. You don't have to go outside, but guess what? You can use this when you go camping. You can use this and cook it outside on your grill, and it's going to work because it's actually made to use over a campfire. And I said cast iron? Ooh, it has my name written all over it. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Now let's go over the ingredients. For this delicious recipe, you need 5 cups of all-purpose flour plus extra for dusting,
Half a tablespoon of salt,
1 cup of lard,
and 2 cups of water.
Let's start by adding 5 cups of flour into your mixing bowl. Add your salt, and with your whisk attachment, you're going to combine your ingredients. That should take you less than 5 seconds. Next, you're going to add your lard, and you're going to mix until all your ingredients are well combined. You'll find that for this large amount, you'll get some of your lard to get stuck in your whisk. That's okay. Come and help it out every so often and continue mixing. And when all your ingredients are well combined, you're going to remove your whisk and you're going to add your water. And now you're going to mix until your dough is nice, pliable, and soft, and that should take you anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes. Our dough is nice and soft, and now it's time to take it out and start making it into a big ball of masa, just like this. It's so soft and smooth. Ooh, you guys are gonna love this. Take your lard. If you're using butter, use butter, and if you're using shortening, go with shortening and lather it all over your hands. And you want to coat your dough with the lard to prevent it from drying. And with a damp cloth, you're going to place it right over your bowl. You're going to place this in the warmest spot in your home. And for me, it's going to be the oven at 0 degrees with the light on. You're going to let it set there for 15 to 20 minutes. And the longer you let it set in a warm spot, the stretchier and better your tortilla is going to come out. Our dough is rested. It's soft, pliable, and just smooth. Look at that. And you want to take this smooth opportunity to make a big, big ball. How big? Real big. So you're going to make them about the size of a baseball, not softball, baseball, because the dough that we have is super stretchy and pliable that you don't need to be extra. And with the recipe and the portions that I provided for you, you're going to get anywhere from 6 to 7 large burrito-sized tortillas. Take some lard and warm it up in your hands. And now it's time to start rolling to make our masa balls. And if you find it complicated with one hand, go ahead and do it with 2. Just like this. Muévelo, muévelo, que sabroso. Muévelo, muévelo, como lo hace. Finish it in the comments. Ooh, ven a bailar. Ooh. Same thing with a damp kitchen cloth. You're going to place it right over and you're going to allow them to set here for a good 10-15 minutes. And boom, done. We have a large tortilla. If I was you guys for the first time, try to stick to about 16 inches. And then that way you have a perfect fit on your comal. Same thing I taught you guys before, from north to south. And this tortilla is so forgiving that you can even lift it once you place it down to perfect it. Once you see the color change, it's going to be time for you to flip your tortilla. And this is where it comes in handy when you flip your tortillas by hand instead of a spatula, because you're going to be able to flip these tortillas a lot faster. There's going to be certain parts of your comal that are going to be hotter than the other. So once you flip it once, it's going to be good for you to go ahead and flip it again and kind of see what part needs a little bit more cook time. So I can see a part on this side that needs more cook time. I'm just going to fold it this way. A few seconds there. Another flip. A few seconds there. And now I'm just going to place it right here folded. And I'm going to continue with the remaining tortillas. A lot of you say that your tortillas end up cracking when you're cooking them. If you notice these tortillas, you're going to notice that they're cooked, but they're not cooked to where they're drying out. And that's what you need to do. You have to remove them. As soon as the color starts changing from the raw dough to the cooked dough, you would flip it, cook it, and then set it to the side. And then that way when you heat them up again, they're not cracking on you. So when I'm cooking them, I like to fold them like this. But for your sake here, so you can see some big tortillas. And boom, done. We have some large tortillas for your burritos. Foldable. They're not going to crack. And I can just keep going, but I'd rather much make you a quesadilla. I'm going to warm up that side to produce some delicious heat. And if you're going to be making quesadillas out of these tortillas, I suggest you get a Costco-sized mozzarella cheese because you're going to need a lot of cheese.
You're using Chihuahua today?
You can also buy a few bags of the Chihuahua cheese. This is just perfect and it melts to perfection. Woo! Well, I haven't said it in a long time, but DJ Giant Quesadilla. Oh, this is gonna be good, good, good. Yummy, yummy. Who's ready for a taste? Oh my goodness. This is a massive quesadilla. This reminds me of the time that I did a giant quesadilla mukbang. If you guys remember, let me know in the comments. It's really hot. Mmm. Absolutely delicious. My tip to you, if this is your first time trying it, save it for a day off and it's worth the work. Once you're done and you know you can make a quesadilla and you don't have to worry about anything else, it's going to be perfect because then you can relax the whole weekend. Yeah? You can use these tortillas for your burritos, for your guisados, for any kind of Mexican dish, but honestly, I really do love these with a burrito de machaca. How about you, Cloud?
Bean burrito.
Bean burrito for Cloud, and for the kids, this quesadilla. And I'm a kid today, so look away.
I add some queso fresco and some chiltepines.
Mmm. Mmm.